Welcome, one and all, to the live stream of the Hard Rock Show. I'm Andrew, and tonight I'm joined by Jeff, and that's pretty much going to be it. It's going to be just the two of us this week, so it might be a little bit of a shorter stream. So just apologies in advance, but yeah, it's just us two, so there'll be less opinions to go around, but we'll try and entertain you all the same for the next little bit while the dog is having his own entertainment, dreaming beside me and whacking his tail on the floor, if you can hear that.
And I hear it.
We got a lot to get through as always tonight, so we're going to be going and doing our next battle, which is Trick or Treat versus Last Action Hero, continuing on with our soundtracks battle series. I'm not sure, we might skip the guessing game, Jeff. It's just you and I, so I might put that aside for a week, but we're going to finish off the Aerosmith Fretboard Feud and then start with the Build a Band. We're also going to do a backyard banger. Jeff in particular is going to do the backyard banger this week on Flitcraft. We're going to have the bin and all the usual stuff later on as well. And don't forget, as always, Jody says hello. So make sure you say hello to Jody in the comments as well. And let us know where you're watching from as always. But also a different question today, one for Jeff that I've promised to put a question online. I haven't done it as a short video. I'll do this as a short video another time. But for now, what are some songs to get you fired up, put you in a good mood when shit's looking down or you're not feeling good or you got to get energy going? What's a song that fires you the fuck up? Get in the comments. Let us know that.
I definitely think of one right now, so we'll save that for the time. But yeah,
cool. Like I said, all the like you've seen the banners going across the bottom of the screen. If you're watching, if you're listening, or whatever else, tuning in later on, then just all the details for us and for everything reference track wise we're talking about in the episode are going to be in the description box. So yeah, like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff. Check out our Patreon page and contact us via email if you want to get in touch. Check it out on TV as well. We have 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights on Channel 31 in Melbourne and 10:30 p.m. Thursday nights on Channel 44 in Adelaide. And that's about it as usual. We got Jeff, like I said, with us here today, and a big thank you to Jeff for trooping through. Now, for those on the private stream on Tuesday this week, you'll have seen that Jeff is a real trooper at the moment. So Jeff is really going above and beyond. So thank you to Jeff for jumping in, and thank you to all of you at home. Michael's here saying, hi, Jeff. Hi, Andrew. Good evening, everyone. Likewise. And Johnny says, hi, everyone. Hope you're better, Jeff.
Getting there. Thanks for asking.
Bit by bit. And just for those wondering, Belle is actually at a gig tonight in Tassie. So a band finally came to a neck of the woods. So it's a band that she was not going to miss.
No.
So she had to go and do that, which is more than fun. We encourage people to do things like that because we are all volunteers here. Johnny gave us a smiley face, so that's good. We are all getting there, especially Jeff over there. And Dave has decided to take just a quick little break, back again next week as well. Everyone, I encourage people behind the scenes here to take whatever breaks they need to do things and just sort of whatever else. They've sent us through their picks, and I know what's coming up in advance. Jeff doesn't, but I do. So we'll get at least one genuine reaction tonight, and we'll see what happens as things go through. But Terry's here saying hi, guys. But yeah, Dave and Belle send their best, and they will see them soon enough next week, I'm sure. Conrad, we're not quite sure. He's over in London doing something somewhere, so it's just we'll play that one by ear, and we'll see when we get Conrad back into things. But all right, let's get stuck into the usual, which is the Hot Rocks segment of the show, which is where we go through, we ask ourselves in Patreon to nominate new songs, and then the week after we go and vote on those ones and collate a top 10 out of that and all that sort of stuff. I'll be quickly before I do. Bash is here. Good evening, guys. The song that fires me up first in the morning is Gone by Toni Iommi. Well, there you go. Fitting segue there because that's moving into our Hot Rocks. So this is it. So a quick couple of honorable mentions here. They didn't quite make the top 10 this week after the the nominations and polling from us and the Patreon supporters. We have Midnight Alibi out of Australia with Sad and Blue. That came in number 12 this week, and number 11 was Who on Earth from with their song Dogs. That was number 11, which means we get into the top 10 now, which, as we just discussed, Basher is here. Basher nominated it. It got to the 10th spot, which is Toni Iommi with Gone, featuring Glenn Hughes. It's a very good song, very good album, very good. It's an older album, but it's one of those ones that's been refreshed lately with all the stuff that Toni Iommi's been doing. So there's been new videos and that released. So we have basically a rule amongst us behind the scenes that it has to be re-released or released for the first time in some sort of way over the last month for a song to be eligible, and these ones are getting eligible via that.
Yep.
Michael's here too, saying, "Hey guys, the song that fires me up is Automatic Sun by The Warning." There we go. That's a good one as well. Good choices, people. All right, number 9 was The Last Martyr, Requiem, another Melbourne band. That's actually number 9 for the 3rd week in a row. It's managed to hold that spot and just keep it there, which is well done to them. Another Melbourne band there. Number 8, Black Label Society, The Gallows. Number 7, another new song, Sirius Black with United. That's the other new one this week. Number 6, the one that won't die, is Those Damn Crows, Let's Go Psycho. It was number 1 last week. It's dropped down to number 6 this week. We'll see what the fates hold for
They've
that.
earned that name, Those Damn Crows. They have earned that name. For this
definitely earned that fucking name. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but fucking
yeah.
It's just wow. I've never
Give somebody else a chance, guys. Holy fuck, yeah. No.
It's the first time we've done this format
ever,
and I didn't expect this result for this long. It's funny as hell though. It's great.
Oh, well earned. It's
a great song. Yeah, it's a fucking cracker. So, and the rules are that between the people voting, you can vote between what's in Tastemakers and in Hot Rocks for those following our playlists. So you can choose, you spread your votes between those, which is why things get the holdover from week to week. All right, number 5 was Confess with Spitfire, another one from last week. That was number 3 last week. Marco Hietala with Frankenstein's Wife. That's been around for a couple of weeks now as well. That was number 6 last week. It's jumped up to number 4. Number 3, sliding down from number 2 last week, is Lyric Noel with Cry Little Sister. Another great song. A lot of us enjoyed that one last week. But then 2 ones take out number 2 and number 1 spot. Number 2 is Hell in the Club with Carolina Reaper, the new single from that band. And then number 1 was Devin Townsend with Jainism, the new single from that fantastic album as well. So those are the songs. Quickly here, Adrian's here. What's going on, guys? We're here doing another stream. Hopefully you're keeping well out there too.
Adrian.
Vinny's gone. Evening, you two. Jeff, that's a powerful globe you're using. Careful of the UV rays.
Oh, is it really? Yeah, it is kind of bright, isn't it?
It's all right. It's all good, man. Adrian's gone. I'm glad you're feeling better, Jeff. Yeah, we're getting there. Dan is here. Good to see you, Jeff, my man. Great to see you again. So there we go.
Dan, he's my buddy.
Vinny says those fucking damn crows, shakes head. Vinny, it's you doing it every week and you know it. So it's not just you, but you are a part of it. All right, so long story short, the 4 new songs for us to choose from. We don't have to choose these ones, but these are the 4. We tend to gravitate toward the new ones. So the 4 new ones for us were Devin Townsend, Jainism, Hell in the Club, Carolina Reaper, Sirius Black, United, Toni Iommi, Gone. Jeff, what was your pick of the week? What was your hot rock for this week?
I didn't really have one. I'm sorry. I looked through the list and nothing turned to my crank. So I could have just picked one, and with that, where's the fun in that? So sorry. I know.
No,
that's 2 of us. Fuck. One of us didn't do his homework. I know.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Let's see if anyone in the audience can guess what my pick this week was going to be. Kat's here. Hey, guys, here now. Good to see you, Kat. Doesn't matter what time you guys get here. If you watch later on or listen later on, just as long as you get here at some time. We just love having the company. Let's see if anyone guesses. No, I'm not going to wait. I'm just going to fucking do it. My pick for this week is going to be the obvious to those that know me well. Devin Townsend, Jainism. Could it be anything else? Seriously. Well, it's a classic Devin Townsend song. It's beautiful and crushing at the same time. The thing about Devin and his work is the storytelling in particular. His lyrics and his storytelling are he's really one of a kind, and combine that side of things with his delivery, his method of doing it. And it's interesting in this song because he's a bit back in the mix. So which makes it sort of drags you in more. But what makes it really cool is that you get sucked in, but while it's a softer vocal take from him, the intensity and the depth of the song is actually kind of helped by that, if it makes sense. Like, he does scream and do his usual things in there, but it's all sort of back a bit and a bit more atmospheric overall. And he does that a lot with his music anyway, but just for this one, it was something that I really noticed that even in the verses and that, there was no sort of crescendo moment in the vocals. It was all sort of back a bit in the mix, which was an interesting sort of touch. And I enjoyed it quite a lot. Around the guitar, his guitar work is second to none. He's a fucking beast, and he loves the baritone guitars just like I do.
I don't own a baritone guitar. I wish I did.
They're fun. Got mine over there. But Heavy Devi is one of a kind, and whilst this song isn't the heaviest thing he's ever done, there's still enough weight and punch in it, and it's got all those things: the melody, the beauty, the aggression, the dark, the light, all of it. He always does this thing where he puts so much into each and every song that you walk away feeling both depressed and enlightened at the same time. I don't know how he does it, but he does something special with all of his music, and I'm a massive fan of his work, so anything new from Devin's going to get my attention pretty quick. It's not breaking new ground, this song, per se, for Devin Townsend. It is just, what you want from him, but I think that both musically and visually, just him as an artist on this song. It's exactly what you want from Devin Townsend. So if you're a fan, this should hit the sweet spot. If you haven't checked out a lot of his work, this is actually a pretty good place to start. The new album, what's it called? I've got a note here. Fuck, now I'm doing a blank on my mind. Power Nerd. That's it. I'm glad I write these things down in advance. But the album Power Nerd is out now. So if you like this song, go and check out the album. But beyond that, go and check out more of his stuff, because I think it's an interesting and fascinating catalog of music, and it covers a lot of ground. Ground. So you will not, if you go from beginning to end, like now, like beginning to today, you are going to go on a
very big
fucking ride. Like incorporate Strapping Young Lad into the mix as well. It's a fucking journey. Yeah. And he's done more than this stuff too. So just go and check out his journey as a musician.
Because didn't he not start out with was he like Steve Vai's guitar player? Or
something?
Yeah.
He's done all sorts of stuff like that too. Yeah. So if you go back far enough, you're going to find a lot of other stuff in there as well. So yeah, there's that too. But yeah, this is another stunning song in an already fantastic body of work as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Not the peak of the peak for him, but I don't think this song is meant to be. I think this is more, it feels like an opening track in some respects, but I haven't checked out the album actually, so I'm probably firing way blind there. I should check that out, Let's see. Where does that come on the album? It's out now. Power Nerd. Oh, there's a commentary version. No, it's track number 7. Okay, I'm way off base. There you go. But it does.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. There's a video for Power Nerd as well, is there not? Because I'm pretty sure there's a song called Power Nerd.
There's a song. It's the opening track is Power Nerd. I didn't check that out. I'm pretty sure
there's a video for that as well. I saw that. Okay. He's wearing some weird.
Yeah, he's
jocks. Yeah,
he's one of the most creative and interesting individuals. Having had the pleasure of interviewing him in the past as well, he's a really interesting cat, and his fans are a bit of a breed apart as well, which I actually quite enjoy. And it's one of those ones where, if you're a fan of Devin Townsend, it's one of those things where you genuinely are a part of a community, if that makes sense, and it embraces any and all comers in any way. Like you go to his gigs and there's people in fucking Pikachu outfits and shit like that. It's crazy as, and he screams and carries on. He's heavy as fuck, and then you got this wild poppy side to him as well. Anything and everything goes with Devin Townsend. So, like I said, go check out more of his work. This one's a good song. I love it. It's just, this is fantastic. I'm going to go and check out the album as soon as I can. I gave this one 8 shots for me, so that's my pick of the bunch this week. What do we got here? Kat says, I liked it, Jainism. Yeah, it's a good one. Craig's here. Hey, ya. Craig. Good to see you. Yeah, Bash is here saying another new song, Power Nerd, is completely different than Jainism. Yeah, I have to check out that. Like, even on from album to album, song to song, like nothing is ever alike for too long. It's he's done very few albums where you don't get some wild journeys. So yeah, and when he does make it more consistent, it's actually he did one a few years ago that was a bit softer and was really interesting, really well done, listen to. So his catalog is different. That's one way to put it. And he does different hats, different personas for different things, and he does it also well. He's got concept albums, he's got fucking whatever. He's got everything, and it's just go and check it out if you haven't. I think he's underappreciated or under-recognized, that makes sense. He's just so talented and so interesting. I just think that he just flies under the radar a bit. Maybe it's the whole Canadian thing, I don't know, but he's a genius as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, he is. I would think that he is a genius musically. Yeah. Because as you said before, he's not one of these guys that creates a sound and then sticks with it. He just goes wherever he wants, and it's all over the place.
And it's all good.
And it's all good. That's right. Yeah. So he doesn't pigeonhole himself, which is great.
No, which I think is rare these days, and should be done rare. More.
Yeah, yeah. I think he probably picked up a bit of that. I'm going to go on a limb here from playing with Steve Vai.
Maybe
Steve Vai has done the same thing. He's probably said, "Don't limit yourself. Just play what you feel," and he does.
And that's it. Yeah. And as an artist, that's all you can really ask of yourself, isn't it? Like genuinely.
Yeah.
Sparks is here going, Jeff. So there we go.
My fan club is here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they are. They're turning out for you, man. And David's here too, saying, "G'day, fellas. All the best." Likewise to you. Thanks for jumping in and saying hi. The new song nominations for those playing along with Tastemakers, we have Alone with the Gods with the song Salt of Sorrow. We have Dorothy with The Devil I Know. Electric Mary with their new single Sean. Frankenbach with their new single Demon Tantrum. Freeze the Fall with VHS. Salive with Peyton Parrish, Time Bomb. We have Sunny Valou, a few Melbourne artists in this one with A Brighter Tomorrow. Set Your Sails, Dangerous, Sisters Dole, United, and Toni Iommi with I Go Insane. So Toni Iommi's getting a bit of a run at the moment.
Yes.
The new song things, but we'll see what's happening there. But we'll do that voting over the weekend, guys. So if you want to get involved, check out our Patreon page. Alrighty. Next up is the Hard Rock Happenings segment of the show, and I've got a few bits and pieces of news that I think is interesting. This first one may not be of interest to anyone at all, I don't know, but I'm going to put it out there anyway because it is worth talking about, and that is that Jeff Tate has announced that he's working on Operation Mindcrime 3. I'm not sure if anyone really wants or needs that, to be honest. I
don't think we needed number 2, for fuck's sakes. Yeah. But we got it anyway, and that was with Queensryche, the whole band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. I'm not sure what to make of that. I guess the proof will be in the pudding. I mean, his last outings have been good. Ever since that FU album.
Absolutely. You know,
FU, Frequency Unknown FU is an FU of an album.
It was an outlier. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an outlier. I was terrified when I heard that. I was like, wow, he's fucking falling off a cliff.
He rushed it out just to get an album out before they put an album out. And they put their album out like a month or two later. You know? Yeah. So yeah,
we did a mini battle. Jimmy, Dennis, and myself did a mini battle between those two albums on the show back in the couch days.
I wonder which one won.
It wasn't hard. Even Jimmy was like, "Jeff, you fucked it up. You fucked it up, Jeff." It's like he fucking.
I think I remember that. Jim got it right up in front of the camera. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah,
that's the one.
Fucked it up, Jeff.
That was so hilarious. He jumped to the side camera with the different angles, and that was fucking hilarious. But anyway, just so you know, Devin Townsend, I've got it all on the brain now, but Jeff Tate is working on Operation Mindcrime 3. For those that do or don't care, I don't know, but we'll find out in time.
I love Jeff, but I just think he should.
I don't think anyone.
Dead dog guy, you know, leave us alone. This is a money grab. You know,
and he's got enough great stuff out now. Like, I know.
What I would like to see, and he's apparently been working on it for years and years and years, is the actual screenplay made into a movie. You know, they've been talking about it, and you know, he's like, "Well, we're looking for the right director." Fuck, I'll direct it. Just give me the fucking. I know the album well enough. Seriously.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
fuck. I don't know why they don't get the person who did the video clips to direct it for him. Like, he did a good job with the video clips.
Yeah. That was Wayne Isham, I believe.
Okay.
That was, So, if you know him, he did everybody back in the 80s. Okay.
No, I think he could, if he's still willing to do it, I reckon that'd be a good pickup. But anyway, I don't know why it's such a hard sell, but whatever. We'll see what happens. Let's see. We've got any comments on this one? Craig, Craig's going, please no, please God no. The Operation Mindcrime 2 was a fucking disaster. A nail in the coffin for Queensryche. Johnny, same. We don't need a third.
No, we don't.
Craig follows up with, I saw them play it at the Palace in St Kilda with Operation Mindcrime 1 was total disaster.
I was there. It was. They did Operation Mindcrime 1 and 2, back to back. I think Jimmy was there too. I was before I knew him, but I was there, and I was happy to see it. I thought it was awesome, but he just didn't need number 2. Just didn't need it.
No one seems to like one, even with the great.
It didn't add to the story. It didn't add to the story.
I wonder how much of this is going to be like, how much they're going to retrofit the canon of the storyline on the third album with this one. It's going to be really not sure, but anyway.
Look, I'm willing to give it a listen, and if it's great, then fuck it, I'll be happy. But number 2 wasn't great, so I don't have big hopes.
Yeah, fair enough. Toni says, thankfully after FU, Jeff refound his incredible vocal, doesn't have to try too hard to be better than Operation Mindcrime 2. Well, there's a fair point too. It could be better. And Michael says, getting wrong director, surefire way to fuck a film. Well, yeah, that's true.
Yes,
Michael's along with getting wrong producers and investors. Well, that's that. You'd have to get people who genuinely care about the story and the art and fuck the money side of it. You couldn't do this for money. It just had to be for the artistic representation of the story. You couldn't do it for the money.
No, you couldn't. And absolutely everything is what people said is exactly right. You need the right people involved, you know. But, you know, as far as him putting out decent music, like he did that Sweet Oblivion albums 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The first one was better than the second one, but they're both really good.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah, really good. And he did all that virtually. Like he never met the guys. They just sent him the files. He put the vocals on. They sent it back and mixed it, and it sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like in this day and age, he's got more than enough. Yeah, and that's where you don't need. Like he's done these other projects that are fucking riveting. I thought they were riveting pieces. Like the first album in particular. Like you, Jeff, I think it's fantastic. But it's just
great album.
It was like the comeback of the year kind of thing when that came out. I was like, fuck, he's found it again. Like that was Huge
Well,
moment.
that album sounded so much like Operation Mindcrime, really did.
Yeah.
And yet it was still fresh and new.
Yeah.
Get those guys to play on your new Operation Mindcrime
that'd be
3.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get them to help. And then find a director that does the art right.
Yes.
Here we go. Craig Fisher says Sweet Oblivion 1 was the best thing Tate has done since
Q2K.
Q2K, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that came right out in 2000. That's why I called it Q2K.
Yeah.
Or it may have been 99, but it was somewhere in the area.
Yeah. So there you go. All right, going to move on from this topic. I know that people are going to have thoughts, but no, Sweet Oblivion, if you haven't checked it out, do yourself the proverbial favor. That is well worth your time.
Sweet Oblivion. Yes. Yeah. Awesome.
Fantastic release, that one. Number 1 was fantastic. Number 2 was good, but number 1, yeah, like Jeff said, fucking phenomenal. All right, going to give a shout out to another local page in Australia, a page called Rock Is Not Dead. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and other places. I'm not sure, but I know that for a fact on
Not
Instagram.
dead yet. Yep.
Not dead yet, but yeah, it's a page called Rock Is Not Dead. They've put together their own festival slated for February 1st, 2025. This one's in Queensland near Brisbane, so go and follow the page for information. But they hope to, if this is a success, to take this on the road and make it more regional, sort of based in different states. So they don't want to go to the cities per se. They want to take this sort of regionally around the country. So that'll be a pretty cool thing. Their first lineup includes bands like the people that should know from us, Snakebite Whiskey, Avalanche, Stone Rising, and more. It's a pretty good lineup on there, so go and check it out. There's a little bit of a plug for that one too. And while we're talking about live music, to sort of cap off this little segment here, there are now limited discounted tickets to see Orpheus Omega on November the 16th, so next week, at Max Watts in Melbourne. This is a massive lineup that also features Witchcrinder, Victoria K, Artifact, and Eden Slain, who are also releasing their new album at the same time.
So, what a band they are. I discovered them. They were fucking really, really, really good.
Mm-hmm. So there's some fantastic, like Witchcrinder, Victoria K, and Artifact we can all speak to. Eden Slain I'm not particularly aware of, but the other 3 artists, along with the phenomenal Orpheus Omega, if you haven't checked out their new album, that's brilliant too. If you like it heavy, it's fucking great. Although it has a few twists and turns, so it's a nice album, that one. But yeah, go and check that out. That is November the 16th, Max Watts in Melbourne. There are limited discounted tickets available, so go down and get a great show because Orpheus are fantastic live.
They are.
Quick list of releases for tomorrow. There's a good few releases out tomorrow, but just a quick highlight here. You've got Delane with their new EP, Dance with the Devil. You've got Impellitteri. Yeah, Impellitteri have a new one called War Machine coming out as well. Make Them Suffer have a self-titled album coming out. Neil Morse and the Resonance have an album, No Hill for a Climber. So that's a name that a lot of people know. Yeah. And in this sort of vein, a little bit here, the Pineapple Thief. I know a lot of people like the Pineapple Thief. Their new EP, Last to Run, is out tomorrow as well. But Rivers of Nil have got an album, a re-release coming out. There's a few things. There's Solstice, Seven Kingdoms. There's a lot going on tomorrow. So we are getting toward the end of the year. Get around and check out some new music. There's always plenty to get around. But yeah, we'll do some posts coming up in the near future as well about getting the Audience Choice Top 10 together as well for the year. So make sure you get around that. Tony's gone. Rock Is Not Dead is a great page. The people on the page just love to talk music and they're cool. There you go. More love to them. So well done. Go share the love all around, people. Got to share the love all around. So yeah, we will. Got some ideas in the future for that sort of stuff too. So we'll be in touch with everyone around, sort of just some more collaborative ideas. But anyway, Jeff, I'm going to throw to you for the next segment now because this is your turn to go backyard banger. Oh, hang on, sorry. Craig says Neil Morse, Pineapple Thief is a poor man's porcupine tree. Anyway, they all sort of do the job. Neil Morse, thumbs up. Pineapple Thief is a poor man's porcupine tree. Anyway.
Well, he's gone a bit. Neil Morse has gone a bit. How do I say? Let's put it this way: he's born again, and that to him that's fine. I don't care. I don't mind. I'm not judging.
But his music is definitely formed by that now.
Absolutely, not which to my taste. I did review one of his albums not long ago. Well, I think it was. It's got to be 6 months ago. I say not long ago, but and it was. It was
well done
for what it was. Well done for what it was, but not to my taste.
Yeah. And there's no. Yeah, that's it. Craig's gone religious. Yes, that's the
word I'm looking for. Yeah, I just didn't want. I don't want to offend anybody because it's not.
No, and it's not about that. Yeah, it's not about judging people. It's just that when there's a particular color and shade to someone's work, which is obvious, then that becomes the case.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fine. Again, nothing wrong with it.
Absolutely.
It's just observing the reality of the circumstances. But anyway, in the comments, in the description box, there's a reference track for you, which is Flitcraft. Earth is not a perfect sphere. That is from the album center of the universe.
House at the center of the universe.
House at the center of the universe. Sorry, what did I say? Fucking hell. It is House at the
center of the universe. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I don't know what. House at the center of the universe. My apologies to everyone there. Which is the band's second album. Now, from memory, this is a Melbourne band. I could be wrong, but here's
I'm not sure. I know they're Australian, but I didn't know
they're
where
definitely Australian.
From.
Yeah.
I didn't know where they were from.
Project of Australian hard rock heavy metal musician Philip T. King, last seen on vocals and guitar in 70s influenced psych rockers Butterfly and on vocals in traditional speed metal band Galaxy. King's new project falls somewhere in between those previous musical adventures, part heavy, part light, part psychedelic, and part progressive. Flitcraft is a strange yet familiar music for strange yet familiar times.
Absolutely. But it doesn't say where they're from.
Well, they're most listened to in Melbourne, which is usually an indication of where they're from, but they're definitely from Australia. This is the band's second album. Their other album, Our Long Journey to the Middle, came out in 2022. This one was released, House at the Center of the Universe, one I'm just going to talk about now, was released April 28, 2023. Yeah. So it's a bit over a year old now, obviously. Backyard banger for this week is That's the Choice It Is. So, Jeff, without any further ado, I'm going to throw to you to give us your thoughts on this one.
Sure. So when I was doing my research for these guys, I found out there's an American band called Flitcraft. And I'm like, how weird is that? So on their Facebook page, they're Flitcraft AUS. Like, who would have thought a name like Flitcraft, which is fucking like off the wall? I don't even know what the fuck it means.
Yeah.
That there would be another band up there called that, but there is.
Weird.
I'm very strange. All right. So this album came out last year, April of last year. So it's a year and a half old, I guess. And I had not heard of these guys before. And I listened to the album once, twice, and 3 times just to get a really good feeling of it.
Yeah, I think you need to do that, to be honest.
I think so. So yeah, House at the Center of the Universe. Now with this album, I think Flitcraft has created something really special here. And they really should be proud of what they've created. The production is quite good. And the sound is very 80s inspired. And I got some other bands, and I'm going to mention those bands, and anyone can listen. I got Early Halloween. Okay. So Early Halloween. I got Early Blind Guardian. And I even got Early Toe Hider here.
Okay.
Yeah. So very strange, because I went back and listened to all of Toe Hider stuff, and I absolutely adore that band. Or Michael, it's hard to call a band, but and so maybe there's some sort of cross thing. I don't know that one inspired the other. I don't know, but definitely it's there if you listen.
I got while you're mentioning bands and styles, I got a hint of King Diamond in there.
King Diamond, wow.
Yeah, we got very different vibes. I've
newer King Diamond or older King Diamond?
Older. So, yeah. Okay.
Like Merciful Fate stuff, or just King Diamond?
No, when he got to solo, but like back to the Abigail and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
the big, but not. There's something about it that just put me in mind of King Diamond a little bit. So I
didn't get that, but that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, we're getting different vibes here. I've got some other ones too, but I'll get to that later on. But yeah, that was just one that popped in my head then. Yeah,
absolutely. So look, I don't know if they were deliberately trying to have that sound, like all these sounds, in there. Maybe that's just a coincidence. I don't know.
Yeah.
But either way, it's very well done, and my hat's off to them for doing it. I think there's a definite throwback to another era here. You hear stuff. They have a very familiar sound, and yet they have a sound that's new and unique to them.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes you feel like you've heard it before, but fuck well you haven't, which is very cool. Yeah. And so that has that
these days.
That's right. It is rare these days, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But all the instruments sound clear, and they're very mixed, very well. Although I will say, and this is my one criticism, and I don't mean this in a bad way, and you'll understand why I say this. The vocals to me sound like they needed more time in the oven. I felt that while they're not bad, the production at times was a bit spotty on the vocals, specifically on the vocals. But there's a reason for that, and I've picked it apart. After listening to it 3 times, you sort of start to be able to hear things. I'm no longer listening for the enjoyment. I'm actually listening for all the different pieces and putting it together. I'm analyzing it now. So I want to raise my glass to the way this album was mixed, because there are times when vocally you can actually hear, if you listen to it enough, you will actually hear pitch issues. There's pitch issues with his voice.
Yep.
Okay.
Just semitones.
Yeah, semitones. That's right. But when you hear it and you think, fuck, we live in an era now where that is so easily fixed in post-production. When you actually realize that they haven't done that and they've done it for a reason, you actually go, wow, because this could have been they could have fixed it in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It could have been fixed. They did it on purpose, I believe. And so I have the utmost respect. They've resisted that urge to do it. And I think that's part of the sound that they've created. Yeah. And like I said, in no way is this a dig at the singer, because he's done a brilliant job here. And
if it's intentional, it's even harder to do, because
exactly right.
Is tough.
Well, it's just like nowadays, everybody makes, you've got all these tools at your fingertips, and everything's snap to grid and all that stuff. And the fact that they can just, put it out there and like musically, it sounds fucking brilliant. I think it actually adds to the listening experience.
Well, I was going to say before that I think that tonality about it adds that little bit off, adds a bit of dissonance, which suits the feel and the vibe of the whole listen really well.
Correct. And it actually makes the album, like if someone said this album was released in 2023, I'd be like, wow, okay. If someone had said this album was released in 1985, I would have went, okay. I wouldn't have known the difference, because it's it so genuinely sounds like that era. And that's hard to do as well.
Clean, it hasn't got time stamped, it's timeless in that
timeless, yeah. And I think all of it makes the album feel more human, raw, and organic. It really helps. And like I said, in today's world where everybody's recording snap to grid, auto tune, and all these other tools at the ready, it's so easy to fall into that trap. And Dave has talked about this as well, about overproduction. When the bands, when you listen to these bands all side by side, you go, well, what's the difference? There's not much difference. It's all the same. These guys have bucked that trend, and that's
in a big way, in a good way.
Hats off to them for doing it. Because I think it takes a very brave band to do it, because they know that they're putting everything out there, and they're not hiding behind any curtain. It's just, this is us.
Yep.
And so they're standing up in the crowd, and I think that's exactly what they've done here. And I hope that they've done it on purpose, because it's working for me, the listener, and I think they are. Well, I don't think that this was an accident. This was done on purpose, and it just makes it that much more brilliant to me. Yeah. Because they're bucking the trend. Once again, everybody is snap to grid, auto tune, whatever, even if it's just a semitone, they're doing it. And that's why things sound so perfect. There's no human element anymore. It's been sucked out. So hats off to them for that.
Yep.
I think all the elements are really here that make for a great sounding album. You've got great sounding guitars, killer riffs on this. You got bass and drums. Everything is played with aplomb. These guys know what they're doing, and including the vocals. It all comes together in a hodgepodge of sounds that sounds really well done. I mean, it sounds really, really well done. And once again, hats off to them for doing it. I think this is a strong album made by real musicians, and who really aren't afraid. And this goes back to what I was saying before. They're not afraid to put the cat amongst the pigeons.
Yeah.
They are in today's music scene, that is becoming extremely rare, and you just don't see it, because everyone's trying to be that, hit that perfect mark. Everything we listen to, that doesn't quite sound right. Let's fix it in post-production. No, let's hear a band play, and this, like when
even
you go to a live
bits fit that
too.
Absolutely.
But when you go to what do you prefer? Do you prefer like a live album that's been like re-recorded and like had everything fixed and perfect? Or do you prefer a live album that is the band playing and this is what they sell, warts and all? That's what I want. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because each night is different, you want the real representation as well.
Correct. Yeah. And too many bands is not doing it these days. We've fallen into a trap. And unfortunately, we have a whole generation of kids that all they're hearing is perfection. And so when they hear something different, they're like, what the fuck is this? And they don't immediately discount it. And that's a shame, because when you get a band like Flitcraft that has bucked that trend, these guys deserve your attention.
Yeah. Doing it for the sake of the art in that respect. Like, in my opinion.
Exactly. Well, but look, I want to thank these guys for being a breath of fresh air. In an oversaturated market. The music, as I said, the music scene is so oversaturated, and so many things all sound perfect. Everything sounds, and I'm not saying that because they don't sound perfect that somehow that's a kick to them. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a big plus, because it actually makes them human. Right? And that's ultimately,
it keeps the soul. Like it
keeps the soul in the music. Yeah. That's exactly right. So I look forward to hearing more from these guys. I think they have a big future ahead of them. I went back and listened to their first album, and it's much like this. It's much like the first album or the second album. It's got a similar vein, similar sound. So they've dialed in and focused on this sound that they've created, which is great. Yeah. I really, really like them. I'm going to give this album 8 shots.
Nice.
And my standout tracks for me was the very first track, that Era.
Yeah, that's
2137.
Cool.
That's a really cool fucking song. I forgot everything. Research at dive bars.
Yeah.
This was a weird one to say. Chrysalis. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Crystal. Yeah.
Chris. Yeah, whatever the fuck. Chris. It's a weird one. It doesn't roll off the tongue very well.
No.
Smoko with Syphilis, I guess, and The House. All great tracks. Like, the whole album was fantastic. Those were I thought the standout songs that if I was just going back to listen to the album and picking songs, that's what I would pick and listen to. But yeah, having listened to it 3 times, I can honestly say that I thoroughly enjoyed this band. And once again, kudos to the Hard Rock Show for finding a band that I've never heard of.
The audience.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I love this show so much. And that's why I'm so happy to be part of it, because you guys have enriched my life with music that I would not normally have otherwise had a chance to. So thank you, whoever put this up. Thank you. So that's my review. I hope it's a good one.
No, nice. I liked it. Just quick notes from me. I put down, it was like proggy stoner rock with a bit of something like a hint of King Diamond in there, just a hint of something in there.
Yeah.
So just for me. I
didn't get King Diamond, but that's so cool that you did.
But wait, there's more. You're going to get some kicks out of this one too. Okay. Like, because this is darker than you might think as well when you think of this sort of music. It's actually kind of dark. It's got some humor in there for sure. Yeah. And there's some really interesting use of harmony in this one too. It's actually quite energetic for the style of music. It's got some great groove. It's a melting pot, like you said, Jeff, of old and new. It really is the perfect melting pot of old and new. There's a bit of cheese in this, but it all works well.
It's not bad cheese at all.
Yeah. No, it's good cheese. And the lyrical craft is really interesting on this one.
Yeah.
I found that one. It's not overly hooky, but the songs stay with you. I think the lyrics have a lot to do with that as well. And it's funny because it's a bit silly, but it's very clever the whole way through, and it has its own charm, which is what you discussed in depth on the sound. But just in the storytelling and the songwriting itself, there's a bit of fun. It's got its own charm, its own unique place in the music world. The production is good, like you mentioned. It's got great tones. I like the layering, the clever change ups. I like how it's both clear and that little bit hot in the mix. It's well done. But there's good gear changes across the listen to it. Flows nicely. It's great dynamics. It's a really odd thing here because I'm trying to think what this puts me in mind of. So there are bands like Dr. Colossus. If you're familiar with another Melbourne stoner rock band, Dr. Colossus, that's
no, I don't think I am.
Yeah,
they're
cool.
Yeah,
they're cool. So if you like Dr. Colossus, you like this band. But at the same time, this makes me think of anything. Like I said, from that to King Diamond to Spinal Tap to Doctor Who, like I get all these different fucking things coming into my head listening to this album. Like, it is a real fucking melting pot.
Yeah.
And along with all those great stoner albums we did in that battle series a little while ago. And I mean all that in the best possible way. Don't get it twisted. Like, this is all complimentary. I think it's just got it feels like an old ABC BBC thing, if that makes sense. Really, it's got the artistic value of those old days kind of thing. And that's, I don't know what it was that made me throw back to that place mentally. I don't know, it's solid, it's entertaining, it's a bit insidious in how it sort of burrows into your mind. This one's very, very well done. So it takes a few listens though. Give it some time. This one takes a few listens to get your head around properly.
But it's a thoroughly enjoyable listen. You will enjoy it.
It rewards you, when you do that. So like you, Jeff, 8 shots from me too. I really did enjoy this one quite a bit, which is a lot of fun there, which is cool. So there's that. We'll go through comments in a second, but just for now, next week is going to be Black Majesty with the 2005, I think, album Silent Company. That's coming up. We're going to give that to Dave for next week to do.
Nice.
Well, that's going to be next week's backyard banger. And if you're here tuning in, make sure you let us know in the comments what some songs that get you pumped up at the beginning of a day, or if you're feeling down, some songs that pump you up. That is the theme for tonight's episode. Get some songs that pump you up in the comments. All right, let's see what they're saying here. Michael says, I thought this was a great album. Interested to see what Jeff says. Well, we've had that one go through now.
Well, hopefully you liked it.
Yeah. Craig says, spot on, Jeff. Morse is good in a collaborative environment, but his solo stuff has really gone off on a tangent, not always in a good way. So that's
to each his own. He's a great musician. There's no question about it. But yeah.
Johnny's got a bit of a fluke, same name it is, but I did do a quick look up, and there's like this thing called the Flitcraft Parable, which is, I don't know what it is, but there's something in there as well. So there might be something in that.
The Flitcraft thing that I found were 2 people. They were like two, like a male and a female, and I don't know, and I'm assuming they're from America. But look, I've always had a soft spot in my heart for 3-piece bands, and I believe Flitcraft is a 3-piece band. At least from all the picture I saw, it was just 3 people. And I saw one picture of the singer and the guitar player, and he was standing there, and I could see he had like makeup or something on his eyes, but his eyes were really popping, which was very cool. But then down on, he had a Rush belt buckle, Rush. And I'm like, yes, my brother, you know, Rush is their god. Rush is god. Yeah.
Yep. That's awesome. But so Johnny said a bit of a fluke in the same name. Adrian says, I think they sound cool, which is nice. Craig says, the whole guitar riff in the first minute of Flitcraft reminds me of Maiden's Where Eagles Dare. I can't get the reference out of Maiden. See, this is what we're all getting different things.
Different fucking things. Wow.
Which is cool.
When he says, like, when Eagles Dare, all I can hear is...
Everyone has different reference points.
I get that. Now that drum's going to be stuck in my head.
Jeff's earworms coming up. But it's cool how we're all getting different bits and pieces out of this. It means that, is that melting pot that we've mentioned a few times now, but it is genuinely that, because everyone's pulling different things out of the pot here. It's great. Adrian says, I like the guitar tone, and the drummer is good. Yeah, no, they're well-accomplished musicians. Michael says, I thought the vocals done that way as part of a throw production they were going for, and we
exactly.
Agree. Yep.
Exactly. And that's why it's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's refreshing. It's
like an instrument within itself. I mean, people say vocals are an instrument, but the production on the vocals is part of the whole thing that makes it all work.
Agree. Even I've had the opportunity to listen to like Freddie Mercury stems from back when he was recording that. When I was doing my degree, he would listen to Freddie Mercury stems. It's not like it's a special thing; you can go get a hold of them. But even hearing him, he had some little deviations from the perfect note kind of thing. And you're even hearing someone as proficient and talented as Freddie Mercury having some slightly off moments in there, but having them be in as the recording that went to the final take. That's important to me.
Absolutely. I was just going to touch on, because you just brought up the memory. So not long ago, Queen has just released a new track. Well, it's an old track, but they re-released it, and they have fucking auto-tuned Freddie's vocals, and it sounds like trash.
Wow!
And you listen to them.
Drums.
You can listen to them side by side, and there's a show on YouTube called Pegasus something, and it's this guy, he's an English guy, and he does like comparisons and stuff like that. And he showed the original vocal versus the auto-tuned vocal. And the auto-tune to say, why would you auto-tune Freddie? He doesn't fucking need it.
And his control.
It sounds like shit.
Yeah. Don't know why I did that. All right. Interesting. Don't know why.
Yeah.
Anyway. Interesting. I'll have to go and check that out. I'm a big Queen fan. That's bizarre to me. All right. Anyway. Craig's gone 7 shots, which is nice. Adrian says, I agree. I like stuff more raw than overproduced, which is true.
Absolutely.
Guru's here saying, greetings, rockers across the plane. Good to see you as always,
hey,
our good friend over there in that part of the world. Michael has said, even has slide guitar for slide tragics like me. It has got a bit of everything, this thing. It has got a bit of everything. I even got a bit of a Spinal Tap, dare I say, vibe, when
I didn't get that. The bands that I got, like I said, I really got Halloween and
it's interesting.
And what was the other band I got there? Now I'm having a brain fart. I just said it.
You mentioned Halloween and shit. Now you'll make me think about it.
I wrote it down. I'm having a brain fart. Seriously.
No.
Blind Guardian.
That's
Blind
it.
Guardian. Yeah. And Towhide.
Yeah. But it's funny how we're getting all these different things being pulled out of the play here. It's so cool. I actually think that's really gratifying, and I hope the band see this and they enjoy that part of it. But anyway, Craig says, Jeff, the music scene has always been oversaturated. It's just that everything is more easily accessible these days. Unfortunately, we now live in a world of instant gratification.
Correct.
This is a part of the problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll find a way to get back to appreciating the art one day, but we'll get to that point. Jolie's here saying, hi, guys. Good to see you as always.
Jolie.
Craig's going, hey, Jolie. And Vinny has gone, difficult not to go past Kickstart My Heart. It's pure high octane throughout. This is about for giving yourself a bit of a fire up in a day. However, Atomic Playboys by Stevie Stevens is definitely lifts me more.
Good song.
Like a mare's tail. There you go. But no, it's those are some great tracks there. So yeah, like we're saying, get in the comments part of the themes, and I'm going to try putting in like a theme for each week. Songs that give you a bit of a rev up, songs that get you fired up and get you kicking off. Though that's the theme for tonight. All right, get in the comments, let us know. Now let's move over to the Fretboard Feud segment of the show where we go and do things a bit differently. We're going to finish off, just recap quickly, our Aerosmith 70s album edition. Last week, we did the final album of that where we went through and picked songs and then got the audience to give us their thoughts. Now, as things stood last week, Conrad was in last place or tied last with Dave. They were both on 135 points. Bell was in third on 155 points. Jeff was on 160, and I was on 165. So it was very tight from top to bottom, only 30 points separating first and last. That means we had one round to go, which was us picking songs from Night in the Ruts, the 1979 album from Aerosmith. Yep. Conrad was assigned first the song Remember, Walking in the Sand. We went through and just whoever's not here gets the most played song kind of thing. Then Dave had the next choice. He chose Chiquita. Jeff, you chose Down to the Bone. Bell took Cheesecake, and I took No Surprise. Now we polled the audience. We get them to give us their favorite songs or whatever else off of the album, and then we got the final score from that. So the top audience choices were Chiquita, which was taken by Dave. So Dave got 10 points for that one, but it's like way down there because above that one actually was Reaper-Headed Woman and Remember, which Conrad was assigned that one. So he got 20 points because it was the same number of votes, quote unquote, but because it's the more played song, you get the benefit of having the more popular, general speaking song. So Conrad got 20 points for Walking in the Sand. Then you get into 3 Mile Smile was the next popular choice after that, which none of us picked. None of us chose that one.
No.
Which means coming in at number 3 was Bone to Bone as chosen by Jeff. So that one netted Jeff 30 points.
Hey!
Number 2 was Cheesecake, which was chosen by Bell. So Bell got 40 points for that one. Yep. Which I was actually surprised by this one, if you pardon the pun, because No Surprise was the top choice of the audience, and I got the 50 points for that one, which makes it interesting to see. I did, but the rest of the results twisted a bit, which is interesting to see at the final standing. So Dave went from second last into last place. So Conrad and Dave swapped. Dave went down 145 points, his final score. Conrad got to 155 in the final score. But then after that, Jeff and Bell then swapped. So Jeff, you got 190, while Bell got 195. So 5 points separated the two of you. But I managed to get out in front at this point in time with 215 points. That last one sort of put me over the top. So I managed to take out.
Good job.
And I actually went last week. That's why I was intrigued as to how that one worked out. So I've lucked out that one there. So that's a luck more than a because all the songs I was going to take were already taken. I remember last week going, fuck.
I know.
The list is rated. And then I took, okay, well, that's the last one left. I'll take it. And then it ended up netting me a win. So I took out this one. So that's just to quickly recap there. So I managed to, it was me, then Jeff, then Bell, Dave, then Conrad in how things played out for the last Fretboard Feud segment of the show. Back to comments here because we're going to do another thing in a second, but back to comments here. Craig says, at the end of the day, this one song has piqued my interest in Flitcraft. It's the reason why I love Thursday nights with you guys. I've now discovered 7 or 8 new fantastic bands.
Yes!
And that's the whole point of the segment, man. That is exactly the purpose of it.
Craig and I are on the same page. I have discovered so much shit from the show. Yeah, love it.
That's the point. Gotta keep. I know we all love our classics, and that's why classics are a part of what we do.
Yeah,
we do need to explore, and there's so much more new music out there, and there's a part of that coming up on the show later on tonight. As we get toward the end of things, it's a little bit of a spoiler there. But now we're going to move over to still doing the Fretboard Feud game, but now we move over to build a band. We haven't done a build a band for a while. Actually, Belle,
I love this.
Yeah, Belle brought it up. So we haven't done this for ages. Can we do it again? And I'd completely forgotten about the game, to be honest. It's like, oh yeah, we were doing that for a while, weren't we? But because we're on a truncated timeline looking at things towards between now and when we're going to call it the end of the year, there's not many weeks to go now for us. There's about 4 weeks to go in terms of live streams to go. So we're going to sort of compress things a little bit in this one. Before I do, Victoria's here. Good to see you, Victoria. She's gone, hi, happy Thursday. Likewise to you. Hopefully keeping well. It's like weekend eve, just about, kind of thing. So we're nearly there, folks, nearly the end of the week. But now we're going to move over to build a band. And what we've done here, we've made this a bit of a criteria. It's got to be British artists that performed on albums released in or between 1975 and 1985. So those 2 years do count, but it's a big bracket. It's a big, because there was a bit of a conversation between, do you want to go 80s, do you want to go 70s? And that's where we sort of split the difference. I think that's your idea, Jeff.
It was. But look, it just makes sense.
And I get it. I jump straight at it. It's like, yeah, that's perfect. So that'll be that works. So what we've got here is that I've got Dave and Belle have sent me their picks or their list of things to go through. So I've got those behind the scenes here. But we're going to start off this week by actually doing 2 choices. We normally do, bass, drums, guitars, 2 of them, and then vocals and keys and producers and all that kind of stuff here. But we're going to we'll cull a little bit of this sort of context for between now and the end of the year. But we're going to do drummers first, and then bass players after that. So we're doing 2 in 1.
I didn't know about the bass players. I'm going to have to.
Oh, man.
I know who I got. I know who I'm going to
Okay. Well, it's going to be interesting because you actually on the bass players get the last pick, man. It's got to be British. So you may want to. Okay. We'll see.
Oh, man. Look, no problem. I'm just going to bring up a list of. So no problem.
It's all good. So the way this works, as for people that know this game by now, whoever goes last in the round before goes first in the new one. So Jeff, you'll get the first pick next week, for example, because you're going last on the basis. But that's why things will roll through as they go. So in this context, so we're going to start off with drummers. So you got your drummer pick, I'm assuming. So
I do. I definitely have my drummer pick.
All right. So let's see how we go here because I drew randomly. We got to go first. So lucky me, I get to go first in drummers, which is awesome. So I'm going to take John Bonham off the board. I think that's a must. Yep. And that's that. Conrad's not here. I'm not going to bother trying to vote for him. So we'll just skip that and move on, which means Dave actually gets his first choice. So Dave was next on the list and he took Nico McBrain. That's nice. Dave's choice off the board, which means Jeff, now it's over to you. So what was your drummer?
Oh, as soon as I saw this, I'm like, the name popped in my head. Cozy Powell. Yeah. Cozy fucking Powell. End of story. Cozy Powell.
Which means Belle is pulling her hair out now because even though she's at the gig, Cozy Powell was her first pick.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Belle. I'm so sorry.
Don't be. Cozy Powell was her first pick. She's going to hate me too because John Bonham was her second pick, which means she now gets her third pick, which was Ian Pace.
Oh, wow. You can't really go wrong with Ian Pace.
No. So that's there. So just to recap here, I've got John Bonham, Dave has Nico McBrain, Jeff has Cozy Powell, and Belle has Ian Pace. That's how things worked out there. But because Belle went last on that round, she gets to go first in the next round. Like I said, I've got these guys sitting in the picks to me beforehand. So now we're going to move over to bass players.
Yep.
So Belle took the obvious. And we have another rule here too. You can't take, obviously we can't have double up. So once an artist is gone, they're gone from everyone. But also for us behind the scenes here, you can't choose someone from the same band more than once. So you got to have different bands in representation here as well. So it's important to note that as well. So Belle took John Paul Jones off the board. That's where, which
good
is
on you, Belle. Nice going. That's a good pick. Really good.
I went. I don't know how this will go in the polling, but I took it. I went Geezer Butler for mine.
Geezer Butler's good. Yeah.
Geezer Butler. which means Dave actually gets his first pick again. Even though he's not here, he's getting his first picks. Actually, no, he can't. Because he can't get that one. He can't get that one. Actually, so here we go. He can't get Steve Harris because they're both in Maiden. He can't get Geezer because I took Geezer. Right. But he can, however, get the mighty Lemmy, which is what he's gone with there. He's taken Lemmy, which is obviously fitting there too. Yep. Which means, Jeff, you get the final pick this round. You got someone there, or do you need to play some hold music?
Well, I was going to take Lemmy, but thank you. Lemmy is a good look. I'll take Chris Squire off the board.
Nice, cool, nice. There we go. So Chris Squire has come off the board now too. So just to recap, there, I've got for drummers, we've got John Bonham for me. Dave has Nico McBrain. Jeff has Cozy Powell, and Bell has Ian Pace. For bass players, Bell took John Paul Jones. I took Geezer Butler. Dave, in the end, got through his list and took Lemmy off the board, the mighty Lemmy. There's only one. And Jeff took Chris Squire out of things here. So we'll keep building this one. Next week, we'll do, I think, guitarist and synth, I think, I've allocated for next week. Then the week after, it'll be guitarist number 2 and maybe vocal or something. I don't know. I'll work it as we go through things.
Guitarist number 2 is good. I think it's every band nowadays, if you're going to build, you should do 2 guitars.
Yeah,
you don't have to, but
but I agree. Yeah, it makes it more fun anyway. So just the more the merrier, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
But that's what we're doing. We're going to do this one as a wrap up for between now and the end of the year, and then we're going to do the Thin Lizzy albums in 2025. Just that everyone knows that's coming up soon as well. Oh wow, Victoria's gone. I'm at Paul Diana's memorial tonight. I will raise a drink or 3 for you guys. Wow. I know it's a somber occasion, but hopefully there's some fun in that as well. And cheers to Paul and to you over there.
Cheers to Paul. He is a legend, and he won't be forgotten.
Shouldn't be, definitely. And so hopefully, for what it's worth, you can enjoy what you can out of that one. Hopefully, people are not just mourning, but also remembering in the best way they're possible. Adrian, there's never a clean segue. We're going to take it. Adrian's got my drummer, Tommy Aldridge, bass player, Cliff Burton. Well, it has to be British.
They're both American. Yeah. They're both American.
So I get what you're going for, but they have to be British. That was the rule.
Because I would have taken Geddy Lee.
Exactly. But it has to be British. It has to be British. And that when we say British, we mean England, Northern
Ireland, all that, Wales, any place.
The
UK. The UK.
Yeah. Is what we've gone for there. Victoria's going to rock away all night. Please do, and give our best to everyone over there as well. All right. Now, I did say we're going to skip the guessing game. Michael says, Victoria raising glass of Paul here. Great, you are there. So there we go. We got some love going all around there. So, please do obviously share our love to everyone over and around the place. We're going to skip the guessing game this week, which means we're going to move on now to the King of the Riff. We did know that today was going to be a bit shorter because there's only 2 of us here, which means you're going to need a lot less. We've stretched this one for 2 people. Don't get me wrong, we always can, but at the same time, we're going to get now towards the end of the proceedings. So now get in the comments as we go through and give us your thoughts, all this sort of stuff. But please do get in the comments and give us songs that get you fired up, songs that make you fucking feel a lot better or get things off chest. Get yourself fired up as you go through things to face another day or get up off the floor when things have got you down.
I've got a song for that. That song really, and I mentioned this when I was in the hospital. This song has always pumped me up, and it's such a levitating song. The obviously not just the music, but the lyrics, everything about it is "Best I Can" by Queensryche. That's
nice. Yeah,
love that fucking song. Yeah,
it's got to be a weird one, but there's some songs like Pantera, a couple come to mind. So Cowboys from Hell is one, like just that's just jump through wall stuff, but also fucking Hostile, believe it or not. Like that's a song that if you're angry and you want to get it off your chest, that's a cathartic release kind of a song. Adrian's laughed saying my bad when we told him it was British, so my bad. And Craig's gone. It's all good. John Paul Jones, Keith Moon, good choices there. Adrian says my song "Come On Feel the Noise" were quite right. That's a great one. That is a good one.
Yeah,
it's a very good song.
Yeah, because that's one of those scenarios where the cover, obviously their cover is better than Slade's. Much better.
Motley Crue, Primal Scream is another one for me. I love that song. Primal Scream, it's just sort of like
Mother Out. Yeah, great song. Yeah. That was on the Decade of Decadence album, 91 to 81 to 91. Yeah,
it's a really good song for me. I love that one to bits as well. Manson, 1996, is an angry song. A lot of these ones are going to be angry songs for me. It's like the anti-choice and anti-girl and anti-flag unfurled, and especially these days, it's a song that can fucking get some things off your chest. But that was a cool one. Oh, here we go. Mini Money, good to see you. Thanks for jumping in. Going, I'm the one.
Hey,
Static X, great band. I got a lot of love for them.
Well, they used to be.
well,
I don't know.
They're what they're doing now, but yeah,
their weird shit that they're now with nobody remembers is bizarre.
But
hey, still pretty back. Good.
Yep. So thanks for jumping in, Monty. Good to see you. Thanks for saying hi and getting in the comments there. Vinny's gone, the Monkey Magic theme song fires me up. Of course.
I've just lost all respect for Vinny. I'm sorry.
And Minnie's having a chuckle there too, so it's good. I love getting you faces in here. It's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of other ones that pop in the head. Like, it's just fucking, there's so many. That's the thing. It sounds so cliche to say, oh, there's so many, but there really are. And it's like, which ones want to? You could pull out any albums just about.
No, I mean, you mentioned Pantera. Fucking Cowboys from Hell is a fucking, just that song is bad.
Judas Priest, Painkiller. I mentioned that to you directly as well when this came up. Like, that song is just like, fuck yeah.
There's so many. I mean, there's just so many. Bark the Moon really pumps me up.
Yeah,
I love it.
For you, it's a huge one.
Yep.
Actually, on that note, Ozzy Osbourne in the end for me from Down to Earth. So, can you hear them? Can you hear them?
Yes.
Sorry, I always say in the end, but can you hear them? That's the song.
Off of
Down to Earth.
That same album is I think it's that same album. Yeah. Facing Hell.
Yes,
that song Facing Hell is a fucking great song.
That is a good one. We got here. Craig says Jeff, and then they followed up with the fucking brilliant The Thin Line.
Yeah. So that's the Queensrÿche reference.
Yes.
that album, Empire, is just, fucking.
We did that one not long ago, you and I think, on a private stream from memory, but I'll see.
Might have. I don't know.
No,
I don't think we did. I don't think we did.
I don't know.
People think that's their biggest album, Empire, but believe it or not, because Empire was so popular. Yeah. Their next album, Promised Land, it went straight to #1 because people bought it, and then of course it went. It's still a good album, Promised Land, but the song. There's a song mentioned. There's a song from that album that's in tonight's thing, and this Ordinary World. I think not Ordinary World.
Now you got me.
Yeah.
Scrolling.
No shit. It's not Ordinary World. That's Duran Duran. Fuck.
Remind me what you're thinking of again.
It's off of Promised Land. It's something.
Oh, Real World.
Real World. That's it. That's a great fucking song.
Yeah, that was
probably the best song on the album. Best song on the album.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think. It's a weird one, but Van Halen, Humans Being, always gets me fired up too.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. I used to have that as a wake up tune. Like that would be playing that dan. Yeah. And waking up to that is awesome.
Yeah, no, I definitely appreciate that one.
It's actually harder to play on guitar than it sounds because most people don't play it right. I can play it, but it's not correct. But it still sounds okay. Yeah. But it's actually not the way Eddie played it.
Yeah. Well, that's hard to do. On that note, too, it's going to be probably a controversial one, but Pound Cake, I love that fucking but the riff, like it's just that riff and the chorus, that's fucking I love it.
Yeah. Van Halen is they're a good band for that pump up. They just have that. Yeah.
Get you feeling good really quick. I don't know.
Summer
we'll keep
Nights,
going.
I mean, fuck, great song.
Yeah. And Vinny's gone Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. That's Vinny's gone, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, Twisted Sister.
Yeah, good song.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Anything from his solo work, to be honest.
He's got such good stuff. Arguably, some of his stuff is better than Twisted Sisters.
I agree. Dee Snider's stuff is fucking bangers, fucking great. Judas Priest Firepower, another Priest song from the later side of things. It's a fucking good one too. Edge Crushing on Rock and Roll, Led Zeppelin for me. That is going Cashmere for me on that note too. It's a slower song, but it's just a. Hey, Minnie, are you with me on this? When you're speaking to me, geez, with my Hot Rubber Ministry. Fuck yes.
Oh wow, that's a fucking song.
That's a fucking song.
When that album came out, I fucking hated it. I hated it. And then my brother, my younger
Yeah.
brother was so into Ministry.
Yeah.
Basically, I heard that song so much that I eventually started to like it. I'm like, yeah, okay,
Nice.
I get it. So that's it. That's, it was literally browbeated into me. But yeah, brilliant. Now I recognize it as brilliant.
Slightly linked to that, I would go Rob Zombie, Feel So Numb from I forget the title of the album. Anyway, Feel So Numb is a great song. I'd also, some out there ones from Rammstein. Everyone would think of things like Du Hast and that, but I would go to things like Deutschland from the second last album they did.
Yeah.
That song is fucking epic. But also from an album before that, they've got a song called Ich tue weh, which I really like that one. But also from the album of the same name, Mutter. That song for me is always fucking such a great song.
Well, they just know how to. There's something about that band.
They're a special band,
and it crosses the language barrier. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter they're singing in German because it's just fucking. I don't understand a lick of German. Deutsch. That's about it. And fucking, and yet I love their. I'm not as much as you, admittedly. I mean, you're an expert in Rammstein, but I do love their music. Yeah. Crosses that language barrier. Very nice.
Yeah. On that note, too, things from Ghost recently, but more the heavier stuff. So things like Spillways and Faith, like that song for me. There's a pause in the song Faith, which just gives me goosebumps every time I fucking hear it. It's like, fuck yeah, I love that bit. It's just, there's some great ones on there one too. But anyway, Craig Bishop's gone The Real World. There's some fucking awesome good ones here. We're gonna...
That's the
that's the song. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the song.
Yeah. Ashley said Wild Colonial Boy and Letter to Alan, Cold Chisel. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice
Rats.
one.
Another rat. I love Rats.
Is from Ghost. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one too. That live album, if you haven't checked it out, fuck yeah. Vinny's gone Tea Party Temptation. Completely agree. That is a fucking killer song.
Another killer band that I've seen. I've seen them in Melbourne. I couldn't believe when I saw them. They were actually gonna be playing. I'm like, are you kidding me? This band from Canada, they're what are they doing? Well, I found out the reason is there was some college radio here that got a hold of one of their albums, and they started playing it, and people were calling it, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Play it again. And they built this groundswell of people loving the Tea Party. Then they started selling their albums here, people ordering them in. Next thing you know, they're registering in Australia as being selling, X number of albums. They're like, how did this happen? But that's how it happened. Otherwise, because the music never would have been played here,
Yeah, I remember when Transmission, the album came out. That was a great album. But I've seen Jeff Martin do an acoustic show at the Old Cherry Bar in Melbourne before. That was fucking phenomenal. And I think I'm correct. He still might live in WA at the moment too. So he emigrated to Australia.
Did he? I didn't even know that.
I think he lives over near Perth. I know it's WA, but I'm not sure what city. But I think he lives in WA at the moment.
Wow, I'll have to dig into that.
Married an Aussie chick and moved to West Australia. I think it is. So double check.
When I saw, there's a live album called The Reformation Live at the Palace.
Yep.
And I was at that show.
Oh, cool.
And there was some technical problems. There was something, there was this buzz, right? It was this constant buzz. It's been edited out. You can't hear it on the actual live album.
Wow.
But there was a point where Jeff actually, he stops and goes, what the fuck is that? And he's pointing and everyone could hear it. And it was this really annoying buzzing. And it was something, but they edited it out, thankfully. And the album, you can download it. It's great.
Yeah. On that note, I saw Slash with Miles and the Conspirators, and they had a thing where the fallback virtually blew up on them for about, I don't know, eight bars of a song or something, and that was funny. I actually got a recording from the night. It's one of those things where back in the day, I thought it was going to be the next big thing that would kick off, and it was wrong, but we actually went to a show, and you got a recording of that show on a CD as you walked out the door kind of thing, so it was fucking rare as shit. I've still got that CD now. But speaking of Slash, and that there's a song "World on Fire" from the album of the same name. That's a great song too. We're going to fucking waffle on here. But Tony's followed up with but after the first four on the best EP ever, Promised Land doesn't do it. So back to Queen's Right for a second there. Craig's got Humans Being my pick 2 and Forever Young by Takedo. Nice, cool. Michael's on Pound Cake Killer Track. Vinny's gone Ministry, just one fix, Pure Energy. Yeah, anything Ministry. Yeah, I figured it was Taikedo when you said that before, Craig. Ooh, Tony's gonna like Enter the Arena by Espionage as a fire up song. There you go. That's
nice. Keeping it
band.
local. Yeah.
Keeping it local. Well done. I like that one a lot. That's cool. Yes, another killer is White Zombie Thunder Kiss. Thunder Kiss, yeah. I also find the Rob Zombie track Pussy Liquor to be a fun one. Just gets you a bit of fun going on there as well. If you don't,
I don't think I've heard it.
No, it's a deeper cut. Not many people know that one, but it's a deeper cut. But it's fucking great. Minnie's gonna miss the Love Heart there, which is cool. There's a lot of good stuff going into this list. Edge Crusher, Self Bias, Resistor by Fear Factory.
I was thinking that, yes. Or Obsolete, or how about the song later on, Back the Fuck Up. That's a cool I just want you to back the fuck up. That's a great song. Yeah. Some
good ones. There we go. Here's one. Vinny says Hunter's Moon by Ghost, extremely underrated. I agree with that comment. Hunter's Moon is a great song. Cat, here we go. Tempest with Tool. That is a good one. That is a very good one. Jolie's gone Def Leppard Action. Loved it. Hypes me up. There we go. That's a good one. Def Leppard is great too.
Yep.
There we go. Tony says Jeff Martin has an incredible voice, so underrated in Australia. Saw him doing a whole acoustic set of David Bowie at the corner a few weeks ago. Fuck, that would have been phenomenal. That would have been phenomenal because his talent for rearrangement would be fucking something else.
He's a very talented musician.
Exceptionally so. Vinny says Spectre General Hunger. If anyone has seen the Transformers animated movie from '86, you'll know what I mean. Fuck yeah,
I remember. Yeah, and that was eventually covered by King Cobra.
Yes.
The band King Cobra. Yeah. Hunger.
Yep. Fuck, that's going back in time.
I was at that. I saw that movie. I took my younger brother to see it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Michael has gone Fight Vicious. There's some good ones there. Mini Money, you and I are on two similar wavelengths here because Head Like a Hole, 9 Inch Nails. That is a fucking dead set banger. I love that one. Also, if you want to go 9 Inch Nails' path, I'd say Heresy from the Downward Spiral. That is a great fucking song. What is it? And Slave as well from the Broken EP. I know you've gone with the Pretty Hate Machine album there, but yeah, Slave is a great one as well. Bash has gone Stargazer Rainbow. I was wondering when Rainbow will get a shadow because that song always gets like that got so much love when that was in the Battle Series a few weeks back.
Dave ironically doesn't like it. I don't.
Yeah, I know. Dave doesn't like it, but the rest of us do, so that's all right.
I don't understand that. No.
Anyway, horses for courses, man. Craig says change comes around from Harem Scarum and taking me down Hardline, any Tool song as well. So there we go. There's some good choices.
I saw Harem Scarum live. I asked. We did that review many years. Well, it was a couple years back now. We did that review. Harem Scarum was good live.
Yep. Edge Crusher has Audio Rain, Relentless, or Forgotten You. Yeah, they're a great band for this. So Audio Rain, definitely. Relentless is a great one.
Cochise, that song.
Great song. That's a good one too. Minnie's gone Dig Mudvayne. Well, I haven't thought of Dig from
go ahead.
For ages, but that's a good one. Mudvayne, if you're going to go that path, Cold Chamber Loco is a good one as well. That's a good one too. Vinny's gone Wheels. Sorry?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wheels of Fire by Manowar from Vinny.
Wires were getting crossed in my head.
Down Payment Blues. Fuck yes. Underrated song. AC/DC.
What's that? Oh. I probably know it. I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar to me, the name, so I'm not sure. But I'll
Adrian, a great angry song is Mother. That is. Yeah, that's a good one.
Great song. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the few, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Danzig, but that song I do like. Craig says Edison's Medicine Tesla could go on forever. Where does it end?
Yes.
There's some good ones.
The great radio controversy. Edison's Medicine.
Yeah.
That's fire.
Vinny, Brandon, my Motley Crue fires me up so much that I feel like throwing that entire CD
off, Brandon. Oh my God, that's shit.
Bad song. That's a bad song. I'm sorry. I know it's sentimental, but it's fucking bad.
It's Tommy Lee's son, but
I get
God,
it.
I get it too, but fuck that.
It didn't belong there. Not a good decision, that one, to put that in there.
That album wasn't a good decision. That was fucking.
Which one is that on? Is that
Generation Swine?
Yeah, not a good album. Fuck,
not a good album at all. It's garbage.
No, it's really not No.
I don't know anybody that likes that album. I don't know anybody, and it's a shame because it was bring Vince back. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then they
fuck.
Actually, on that, Iron Maiden, the whole Brave New World album, but the Wicker Man, the song "The Wicker Man." Speaking of bringing a vocalist back, that song, yeah, that gets me.
It's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah, but that's just like a kick in the fucking face in a good way. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Go with Disturbed, a later song called Animal. That's a good one from Disturbed.
Disturbed is one of those bands that I just never got into.
Can't do it?
No.
Well, here's one.
I don't hate them, but I just don't like them.
Charlie's gone Skid Row, Monkey Business. Sorry, I couldn't resist the man himself, Sebastian Bach. Hey, I get it, but the new album from Sebastian Bach himself, that's a fucking banger. That is a great.
It is a good. I think it's. Like I said, I went on the record to say I think it's the best thing he's done since Slave to the Grind.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. That whole album is fucking phenomenal. And there's a new video out with him and Orianthi as well, if you want to check out that stuff too.
Check it out.
Yeah. Craig has gone, Jeff, I still keep in touch with Pete and Harry. Pete confirmed the new Harum Scarum album coming early next year. There you go.
Well, if you keep in touch, say hi, because tell them I saw them in Kingston, Ontario, and the band that opened from them was Haywire.
Wow.
Another Canadian band, but that was back in 1986, I dare say.
Yeah, wow. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So I drove, like, Kingston, where I lived, is about 65 kilometers.
Yep.
And I drove, and my friend drove at the time because I didn't drive. And back then. And so I would have been only 16, but my friend was a bit older. He had his license. We drove, and it was fucking like in the middle of fucking winter. We drove in his fucking truck, which had no fucking heating.
Oh, fuck.
And by the time we got there, our fucking legs were like frozen.
You're a popsicle.
But there was literally ice on the bottom of where your feet in the mat.
What?
Yes, there was ice down there.
From the condensation,
Condensation is frozen. That's right. And it was like, oh my God. But great show.
Worth it, I hope.
Well, I remember. I mean, fuck, that's what, 40 years ago almost, and I can still remember.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's something. Fuck, that's wild. Minnie agrees with you, Jeff. I can't do Disturbed either, so there we go. But I did have I'd say why this may or may not piss some people off, but Nickelback, Burn It to the Ground.
Yeah.
That song, that's
riff, a fairly newer one, isn't it?
It's off the Dark Horse album from memory, but it's
because I know that they put out some stuff recently in the last 2 or 3 years, which has been really, really good.
Yeah, no, they're a good, solid band. People hate them, but yeah, that song "Burn It to the Ground" is like
they do cop it. I don't know why. Yeah. I certainly don't hate them. I love the fact that they're so popular and they're Canadian, but I don't know why they cop such shit. I don't know why people shit on them so much because they're not a bad band at all.
No, I like them a lot, but anyway, Godsmack. They've got a couple of songs coming to mind here. You got Whiskey Hangover, that's a cool one, but also their cover of Come Together from the Beatles is fucking good as well. That gets me going. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna keep going. Sparks is gonna piss you off now, Jeff, with that comment on the screen. We've decided to leave that alone tonight.
This says it all.
It does, yeah. We're not engaging that one tonight, folks. We have decided we chatted pre-show. We're not going to go there tonight. Jolie says, of course, I can only type so fast. That's all of us. Craig says, Night Ranger Rain Comes Crashing Down. These are all good. Yep. Jay, good to see you. Jay Lloyd McCleary has gone, Last Action Hero soundtrack had not only one, but 2 Alice in Chains tracks on the album, outbeating the Terminator 2 soundtrack with Guns N' Roses. So there we go. We don't have the Terminator 2 soundtrack in this battle. That'd be an interesting battle, actually, those two.
Yeah,
Oh, Minnie, great choice. So what, Metallica? Fuck yes. But also For Whom the Bell Tolls. That has to be. Bells has to be. Don's here. Good to see you, man. Hopefully you're keeping well out there.
Donnie Hector, another one of my fan club.
There you go.
Yeah,
an amazing song.
18 in Life was a good song. Yeah, fuck you, Sparksy. I love you, but fuck you.
Yeah. Sparks is laughing. Vinny's gone, Those Damn Crows fires me up. Vinny, fucking hell.
I know what Vinny needs for his birthday. He needs a fucking.
Yeah, he should be fucking like being like what was it the street
promoter
for that band at the moment?
Yes.
Minnie gave us a
I'm sure
thumbs down. I'm assuming that's to do with the comment on the screen that got Sparksy laughing. Of course, yeah, no, it's fine. Michael says, "Can't believe no one claimed Nigel's lick my love."
Yes, fucking
yeah, okay.
Oh, well we love it. We do. We love ourselves some good Spinal Tap.
Oh, here we go. Vinny's seriously though is going. "Learning to Fly" by Pink Floyd is one of the greatest escapes ever composed. That is a great song.
Yep, ice is forming on the tips of my wings. Yep, yeah. I thought of everything. Yeah, great fucking song. You're right.
And Kat's gone, yes, Vinny. That is a good one. But then Don, did you know Jeff Sebastian Bachelor is Canadian? Yes, we do know he is Canadian. We have a lot of Canadian love here. Obviously, we have Jeff on the show here as well to make sure we don't miss anything Canadian as things move along.
Born in Toronto, if anyone's wondering. Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of moving along, I'm going to move us along to the finale of the proceedings. We've had a lot of fun. So keep your comments coming on the songs, pump you up. We're going to move on now. I'm going to put a couple of reference tracks in the description box. They're already in there, but I'm going to put in the comments now too. I'm going to put Fastway with Trick or Treat and AC/DC with Big Gun. Those are the two reference tracks that are going in the comments now. So that is reference tracks for you with tonight's battle, which is obviously King of the Riff Soundtracks Edition, Round 3. This is Trick or Treat from Fastway versus the various artists' Last Action Hero. This is the 4th and 5th seed of proceedings. We did do this in the playlist. We all had a bit of a trick with this one, though. I had to give you guys YouTube links for 2 of the songs because 2 of the songs aren't available on the Spotify playlist for whatever fucking rights reasons it is.
I don't know why. That's bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know why either. It's very odd. But this is the 3rd round. I've already got the picks from Dave and Bell in here. But as we do, we're going to just quickly give our thoughts on these albums, give a winner and why, and all this sort of stuff. And we'll see if our opinion matches up with what the audience gave us in their polling earlier this week. So without any further ado, Jeff, I'm going to throw to you first to give us the opening.
Well, I have to say right off the bat, Big Gun, AC/DC, this is another one of those songs. This is one of my favorite AC/DC songs of all time. I fucking love it. It's great. You crank this one up every time you hear it because it's not overplayed. It's not, like there's so much AC/DC that's overplayed.
Like Thunderstruck is great, Thunderstruck get overplayed. Yeah.
If I hear Thunderstruck again, I'm going to fucking commit Harry Carey. It's like, I love it, but I've heard it 5 million fucking times. It's like Enter Sandman. If Enter Sandman comes on, I turn the station. Yeah. I love it, but it's going. Yeah. So Big Gun is that song for me. It's probably one of my favorite AC/DC songs.
It's a great song.
And it's a great song to play in guitar as well. It's just got that, it pumps you up, right? So The Last Action Hero is a phenomenal soundtrack, as I found out. Listening to this, listening to the music from this, I'm just like, oh, wow, this is really, really good shit. But I then got the feeling of, well, it's just a bunch. Somebody sat down, and some executive somewhere, whatever, decided that they would get the rights and ask these bands, whatever. Hey, do you mind if we put? Who's going to say fucking no? So you get a big popular movie that was quite popular at the time.
Schwarzenegger at the time was like a
absolutely, and so it's a great album for what it is.
It's really solid.
There's no composition there. It's just random songs from random bands that everyone likes.
It's going to be funny though, because it's going to be interesting to see how this idea that you're talking about between composition versus random songs, how that's going to hold water as the rounds.
I know, and I kind of. So when in the previous round, I voted against The Wall because of that. The Wall was like, it's a great fucking album, but
not necessarily a soundtrack.
Not necessarily a soundtrack. And Dave said he didn't think it was a soundtrack at all. Yeah. And because the actual movie came out after the album. Yeah. It doesn't really matter. It ended up, it is a soundtrack. So but in this regards, The Last Action Hero is just a killer selection of songs. There's so much great music here, and probably my favorite song amongst them all. Like, I love that AC/DC song, but the real world by Queensryche, that song just there's something about that song. It's like a tapestry. It just so envelops you into this world that they've created, this musical world. Love it. Having said all that, the actual album from Fastway, Trick or Treat, was every song in this was composed for the movie, with the exception of Heft, which is actually on their first album.
Yeah.
And they decided to include it because it's kind of a darker song, and it's got that, like, you know, it has that feel. And so every other song was actually created for the movie itself. And I think I have a soft spot for this album because I went and saw Trick or Treat when it was in the theaters.
Okay, yeah.
1986, you know, I went and saw it. I was like 17. I went with my buddy, and you know, as well. See, it wasn't so much that it was Halloween. When we heard that fucking Ozzy was going to be in this movie, we had to fucking be there to go see it, right? So, being a huge Ozzy fan, you know, had to go see it. So, and I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I watched it not long ago. I watched it probably about a month ago with my friend who had never seen it.
Oh,
my
wow.
flatmate now that I live with.
Yeah. Cool.
I said, check this movie. No, I never heard it. He loves horror movies. So I said, well, we got to watch it. We watched it. And he enjoyed it. He thoroughly enjoyed it. Because it is a kind of a cool song or a cool movie. And, you know, it's the whole idea of Sammy Kerr and all that shit. But the album itself has some really strong songs, regardless of the fact that it's a soundtrack album. The actual album itself is fucking really, really good. And the fact that they composed all these songs specifically for the movie, that, you know, we don't really get too many bands that, when it comes to soundtracks, actually, you know, write an album, release it under their own name at for a movie. We get lots of compilation things like The Last Action Hero. We get lots of that. You know, Top Gun and all that stuff. They're all compilation stuff.
No one comes to mind pulling the kind of magic for Highlander, that sort of stuff. Yeah,
that's right. But we just don't get bands saying, okay, let's do the whole album. We don't get a lot of that. And I think that's unfortunate, but it's the reality of it.
Bon Jovi, Blaze of Glory. It's another one as well.
Yeah. Like I said, there's lots of them out there, but it's just not as widespread as it is with the compilation albums. So I give points to Fastway for putting an album out that actually does kind of, when I hear the music, I think of Halloween. I think of Halloween, and it gets me in that mood. And it's one of those albums that's kind of why I wanted to watch it, because I watched it, like I said, about a month ago or so, you know, before Halloween, just to sort of get me into that spirit. And it does. It does. And so, you know, without getting too overlong in my review between them, I think they're both fantastic, but one of them is much more focused on what it's trying to do. And for me, that's the album Trick or Treat from Fastway. I think it's much more focused. The Last Action Hero, there's any one of those songs are all great, but you could take the songs off and put other songs in its place and no one would know a difference, right? It's good for what it is, but you could literally pick another 20 songs and put it up there for someone who's never heard the album, go, this is The Last Action. And, okay, great songs, right? You would never know. So for me, Trick or Treat gets my vote.
Yep. All good points. It'd be interesting if we don't have the other two here or Conrad even to give their counterpoints on this one, but both Bell and Dave have gone with Last Action Hero. I don't know the particular reason why, but they both sent me through their picks and they both went with Last Action Hero, which makes it, at this point in time, I get to see decide what happens now. In the case of a tiebreaker, we go with the higher seed, just so you know out there, folks, that we've got a predetermined thing that if we have a tie, we go with the higher audience seed because that's generally speaking the more popular choice. It's kind of like an audience additional vote. They're both really good albums, and that's what the hard one for this is. And everything you said about Trick or Treat is correct. Like the opening song, and then from beginning to end, it just stays and holds the course. It hasn't aged badly at all. Like it was originally, it's an 86 album, like 80, you said.
86, yeah.
And it has really stood the test of time, and it actually is, in some respects, getting better with age. I don't know if you agree with that statement, but it seems to get better with age. And I know how much this, not only the movie, but the album in particular, gets every Halloween that we do anything on or anything like this band, this album gets so much love, adoration, and appreciation all the time. It's so vintage 80s, but at the same time, it's also one of those timeless releases that doesn't go wrong or go away or any of those things. It is just one of those weird ones that is old but still somehow relevant each and every year as you go through things. And I'm not entirely sure how they've managed to do that with an album that's actually so themed as well. Like, it's not like it's a for all comers kind of a record. It's not your typical 80s album which had all the big hits and all that sort of stuff going on. Even the sounds are a bit different for the mid 80s production and that too. Like, they kept it a bit meaner, which I think has actually helped it age well over time as well. Like, the lineup was firing, the songs are great, production's good. Like, and like you said, Jeff, the songs are composed with a particular purpose in mind. Correct. Which there are albums where it works for it and works against it. We've had the debate about Pink Floyd the other week, and there'll be other albums in this process where we'll go through things. We had Dazed and Confused last week, but that's an absolute monster collection of songs. So we'll see what happens if some of these juggernauts go head to head as things roll on.
I mean, aside from the song from Tesla, The Last Action Hero, every song was just a random song off an album. Right? And
that's where you get over to that album. You look at the playlist though, and the fun part, like, you've got Big Gun, which is an absolute fucking oh my god, what a song!
Great song.
You've got 2 Alice in Chains songs, which how can I not fucking adore Alice in Chains? People that know me, in What the Hell Have I and A Little Bitter. I'm not sure they're the 2 best choices, but they're great songs anyway. It's Alice in Chains. I'm never gonna go wrong with that. Angry Again from Megadeth. You got Real World from Queensryche getting all the love. You got 2 Steps Behind from Def Leppard though, which
it's a bit of a a good song, but it doesn't. Does it fit this album? I don't know.
Yeah, Poison Mars Manthrax is great, as is Dream On from Aerosmith. At the same time, how many times do you need to hear Aerosmith to Dream On? You've also got Last Action Hero, like you mentioned, from Tesla. But there's a few things here where it does give me that feeling where when you listen to the album, it does feel like there's another album here which didn't get much running or comments or votes in the polling that would lead into this one, with a movie called End of Days, another Schwarzenegger movie, believe it or not.
Yes, I remember the movie well.
That had some Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses kind of stuff with Oh My God, and that was a really cool soundtrack for what it was as well. But at the same time, the trick with this is that in that era, in this 90s or whatever it was era, because when did this one come out? This one came
late
out
90s. That was just like 97 or
93.
93.
Oh, yeah, 93. But the trouble is that when you got albums like this one, when you got albums like, as much as I enjoy them, I love them to bits, but when you get stuck into it, this one, End of Days, they had like that, even things that are coming up, like the Spawn soundtrack, for example, coming up next week. You've got this real weird thing where they just tried to shoehorn as much of what was, the rock and metal zeitgeist at the time into an album.
That could be a problem. Yeah.
And it works then, but I don't think it ages well. So when you get to this album, I love Michael Kamen. I think he's an absolutely wonderful composer. But Jack and the Ripper didn't really... that and the Tesla song were the only links to them. Like, Big Gun obviously is a link to the movie, but and so on and so forth. All the songs play their part, but the ones that really make you think of the movie are Tesla, Last Action Hero, and Jack the Ripper, Michael Kamen. I know Big Gun does, but I'm talking about actual songs that are directly written for and about the movie. Right. Yeah. Not the stamp moments of the movie. But then you got other ones too where they make sense, but at the same time they're odd. Like Cock the Hammer, Cypress Hill. I like Cypress Hill, but it's not choice. And Swim from Fishbone. I like Fishbone too, but it's not. It didn't fit. Does that make sense? Am I the only one that
totally fit? No, totally. When I listened like to Cypress Hill, like they're not one of my bands that I would like, I was listening to it. I would. I can listen to them. Would I say I enjoy them? No, I don't think I enjoy them. I listen to them, and there's lots of bands like that I listen to that I don't particularly. I would never go out and buy a fucking Cypress Hill album or even download one. I have no interest. So when I listen to the album, and I'm like, why is this here? It doesn't fit, in my opinion.
And I know the movie well, and I couldn't remember what part of the movie it belongs to, or and so. That's why it felt to me like it, and even with like School of Rock, I criticized some songs, but at least every song in School of Rock, even though it didn't make the cut, it got voted down last time around.
Yeah,
every song there made you think of a part of the movie.
Correct.
In this one here, I struggled with that, and I used to watch Last Action Hero.
It was almost. I agree. It was almost like when they announced the movie and then they were picking songs. It was like, okay, well, we've got a song here. The record company is basically pushing this song for us to play, and they just put it on there because it was taking up space.
And it was it's the whole capturing the cultural moment kind of a thing and trying to make it something, because soundtracks like that become at risk of being a carry-all kind of a thing. Like they try to push things and piggyback off of other things. They put AC/DC at the start of the thing, and like, here's this song from Wishbone or whatever it was, and it's like, this doesn't quite, or Fishbone, sorry, that doesn't quite work. And it's like, and it just, when you're listening to the album from back to back, it comes down to my voting on this was very, very simple at the end of the day. If I'm listening to both of these albums, which one has songs I don't skip and which one has songs that I do skip?
Okay. Yeah.
That's not a hard choice. That to me goes Trick or Treat. That wins because I don't skip a moment on that one.
It's so good. It's such a good album.
I don't skip a second. Whereas
it's not dated at all.
With Last Action Hero, yes, the highs are there, and I love Alice in Chains. People are going to go, what the fuck are you voting against Alice in Chains? Yes, I am, because in this context, there are songs that are just like, yeah, I love Big Gun. I love What the Hell Have I love Angry Again, Real World. Indeed. But then after that, it kind of, apart from Little Bit, and even Little Bitter, to be honest, like, good song, but, it just gets weird at that point in time. Like, it just goes.
They made some really weird creative choices, and I don't think it worked.
And so I'm sitting there going, I'm not sure about this. And so for me, there are songs that I would definitely, or maybe not definitely, but happily skip on Last Action Hero.
Just other choices that you could have put in there in its place that you would have loved. That was for me. That was the reason why.
Yeah, and so for me, it came down to which one am I going to skip, which one am I not going to skip. I'm not going to skip anything on Trick or Treat. And the more I listened to it, the more I enjoyed it. So it's like, and the album was like, yeah, it's good, but highlights don't make a great album. And we've had this discussion before. And I think the highlights, probably like Big Gun, is probably a better song or bigger song than either album. It's a monster, but it doesn't save the whole album. Whereas Trick or Treat on a body of work is a more enjoyable listen from beginning to end. And that's ultimately we're presented with the idea of soundtracks. And it felt like an album that worked. Even I would go back to, I know that it's a different thing, but Dazed and Confused felt more cohesive to me than Last Action Hero did, because it all fit a feel, a vibe. It had a time era to it.
Speaking of which, I couldn't remember if I'd ever seen the movie, so I last week I watched it, and
Dazed and Confused.
Yes, Dazed and Confused, and I can't say I love that movie. I thought it was one of those coming of age films.
It's a coming of age film, yeah. I don't know if it aged as well as it could have. Yeah,
it did. Yeah, it was good, but there was some things in there that I just thought, like, when I think of like coming of age films, like The Breakfast Club, or like, it doesn't even fucking come close.
No,
Risky Business.
Risky. It was for stoners.
Yes, I know, but like guys running around with fucking cricket bats, paddling people's asses. What the fuck was that all about? What school does that? That's
a paddling.
That's I just thought no school I've ever heard of does this. If that's an American thing, please let us know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, I will, let's put it this way. I will not watch it again. It was okay, but I won't watch it again.
Soundtrack's good though, but anyway,
soundtrack is good. I didn't mean to, I just
no, it's a good segue. It makes sense. But that puts us in the position I was prefacing at the top here, because we are tied, you and I and Bell and Dave. So Bell and Dave aren't here. They've gone Last Action Hero. You and I are here. We've gone with Trick or Treat, which means we have to go to the highest seed. In this context, the fourth seed, it was fourth versus fifth. So these are neck and neck. We're going to go with Trick or Treat for us.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So it wins by being the highest seed. Which actually ties in closely again, because last week we were bang on. It was 70% of us went one way and the audience went 70%. This time around, 60% went to Trick or Treat, 40% went to Last Action Hero. So it's roughly
smart audience,
the same way that we've gone as well. Yeah. So that's how things have balanced out in how it's all sort of sits here and moves along. Let's see comments here. Adrian, yeah, like I said, ACC Big Guns is a banger.
Oh.
Mini, says some mutts can't be muzzled. Amel and the Sniffers. Yes, Amel and the Sniffers is a great band. Mini, they're fucking awesome. I haven't checked that last album yet, but the one before that, Comfort to Me, I think it's called. That's a good album. Gene Simmons is in Trick or Treat. Yeah, it has a whole lot of fucking everything there from Adrian. Michael says Dave Who, Bell Who, Trick or Treat. There we go.
There we go.
Jolly says, I thought I saw a putty cat. So cute. I don't know where we're going here.
I don't know.
Oh, it was okay. Also, I was on a different thing here. So Adrian's going, cool cat, Jeff. So there we go.
Oh, there was a cat that ran by.
Okay, I didn't see it. I'll have to watch it back because I was looking at my screen and something else.
Yeah, it was a glitch in the Matrix.
Okay, there we go. Craig says, I missed this poll, but Fast Eddie for the win. There we go. So we do put the polls up. Socials being a bit tricky at late, so I'm going to change things up in the new year. It's a bit of a minefield.
That cat, anyway. By the way, his name is, if anyone's wondering or curious, that cat's name is Vlad, like Vlad the Impaler.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, his name is Vlad because when he got it was my flatmate's cat. When he got him, he had these two fangs that were hanging out.
Wow.
And he just immediately thought of Vlad the Impaler, and that's Dracula. Yeah.
I like your friend and haven't even met him yet. I like the way he thinks.
yeah. Jim's a cool guy. So yeah, here's the Vlad. Here's the Vlad.
Yeah. Cheers, Vlad. Good to see you making an appearance on the show. Now we got cats and we got dogs. I got a dog right
now. Yeah.
Caesar's just fucking lying down.
Vlad is the coolest cat ever. Seriously, like Scott had a cat, and like that cat is like skittish and wouldn't let me touch it.
Yeah.
It just runs away. Vlad is like, oh, rub my belly. Oh, it's just like the best cat ever. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right. Well, we've done well, Jeff. I don't know how well you're holding up, but I didn't think
we've done very well. I'm holding up pretty good, but I'm glad that things are coming.
We're going to get to the end now. Let's start to wind this up. So, a couple of things, like I said, we've steered clear deliberately of a particular topic tonight, so we're not going to go bending.
Yeah, we're not going there. We're not going there. Just suffice to say it. And we're done.
But anyway, so now it's time for the win or bin segment of the show. Before I do that, while Jeff has a moment to think, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, all the usual stuff here. So I'm going to go to the banners and make sure you know where to follow us. So follow us at the Hard Rock Show on your preferred platform. Everything you need to know about is in the description box of this episode. So if there's something if you're tuning in later on and you miss it in the comments because it's all a bit weird watching things on replay, all the links we're talking about are shared in the description box of this episode. Same thing for us. Same thing with things like Patreon. So if you want to get involved in things like the Hot Rock segment of the show, then just chip in a little bit. They're like $2 a month if you can afford it. Helps us out to get more done here behind the scenes, gives us a bit more security, and allows us to get more done. But you get to be actively involved in things behind the scenes too. And if you need to get in touch with us, send us press releases or whatever else. And the best way to do so, because social media is not the best way to do it, honestly, email is the best way to do so, as is on the screen there. Media at thehardrockshow.com is the best email for that. I might be changing that soon, but not yet. A big thank you to Jeff for jumping in. As always, it's good to have you and good to see you feeling better.
Good to be here. I do feel a little bit better. My leg is still, for anyone who's wondering, my leg is still kind of fucked. It's like it swells up, but I'm on blood thinners, so hopefully no clots.
Fingers crossed it'll be more resolved as the weeks go along.
They said it would be. They said it would be. So I have to trust in the doctors.
Yeah, well, you're better off doing that.
I agree. Yeah.
But thank you all for tuning in. Whether it's watching live with us or you're tuning in later on, we do appreciate you taking the time to check out anything that we do, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. It was good, like I said, to see some new faces. And I'll go through the rest of the comments before we get out of here. Don't worry about that, folks. I'm going to get to that. But a big thank you to everyone for tuning in. Good to see new faces. Good to see the old faces as always. We love having everyone here. So make sure you say hi. And like I was saying, the theme for tonight was songs that pump you up. So keep those coming as well if you're tuning in later on. Excuse me. TV every week. We're on TV. So Channel 31 in Melbourne, 10:30 p.m. Saturday nights. You get to see like music being played. We talk, but not as much as we talk here on these live things. Obviously, you can't do the music on the streams. It doesn't work. You get blocked and all kind of shit. But also 10:30 p.m. 10 p.m. Thursday nights. Channel 44 Adelaide. That's Thursday night. So that's right around half. I don't know. Fuck, it's weird time because I'm in Queensland. You're in Melbourne. Adelaide's
it's coming up to 11. Yeah, so Adelaide's half an hour.
11 for you. Us. They're half an hour behind you, so it's like 10:30 over there.
10:30.
Yeah.
So it's already on. Yeah.
Fucking weird. It's hard because you guys are an hour ahead of me. Adelaide used to being a half hour behind, but now they're half an hour ahead. Sounds like it's all fucking stupid time zones. I've got to think in 3 different time zones at any given time. But the so it's just fucking odd. But yeah, catch it on TV every week as well. And that's about it. We have everything coming up next week. Next week's battle, I should probably preface that. Next week's battle is going to be, Dave's going to hate this one. It's the Spawn soundtrack versus Rocky Horror Picture Show. So,
okay,
it's going to be an interesting one. Two very different.
Tune in. You do not want to miss that.
This is going to be wild. I'm not sure Dave's going to join us, to be honest.
I hope so.
Fuck, it'll be interesting. And then after that, we've got the Blues Brothers versus the Wall, then Dazed and Confused versus the Crow. These are the ones coming up. Let me just quickly update my little list here. Shit, fine to strike through. So Last Action's gone, which means Trick or Treat. Yeah, there we go. So it's so Trick or Treat will go up against either the I don't know. There's battles to come. There's Blues Brothers versus the Wall, and there's a lot of battles. But next week is Spawn versus Rocky Horror. So that'll be an interesting battle in and of itself. Like I was saying, we're going to do the Backyard Banger and all those things will be coming back in vogue next week. So just make sure you join us same time and place as always for another live stream and check us out and all the other stuff as well. But we'll get some comments in and then we'll go to the bin and all that sort of stuff as we go through here. Kevin's here. Greetings, kids. Better late than never, I guess. Good to see you. Doesn't matter when you get here. You can always watch it back later on. You know that you've got the link, so you can check it out later on. But make sure you enjoy that and look after yourself over there too. Hopefully everything's well for you. But good to see you as always. Kat says, bin elections win. Going to see Cicada Stone and Iron Sky on Sunday night. Thanks to at the Northcote Social Club. Thanks, guys. Stay well. Look after yourself, Jeff. So you're most welcome. Have a great time at the gig. Hope you have a fantastic night. Yes. There are great bands, all of them. So go enjoy. Michael says, I'd like to table that Alice Cooper is now old enough to be elected these days. Well, that is true. That's a very interesting point there. Craig says, Promised Land always gets a bad rap. I think it's almost as good, but also very different to Empire. It's a shame that everyone was waiting for Empire 2, but those who were with the band from the beginning knew they never did the same album twice.
That's right. There's a doco on YouTube, The Making of Promised Land. It's not the best quality because it was, I think they originally included it on as it was on some CD.
Oh, the multimedia CDs, yeah.
Yes, and the multimedia CDs. So the quality is like 240p. It's really shit. But it's still very, very interesting. Yeah. It's very interesting. So if you haven't watched it, check that out.
Cool. No, I think I'll dig that up. Cool. Nice. Thanks. I didn't know that. Adrian's gone, good show, guys. You're most welcome. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully everyone's had a good fun night tonight. And Craig is going, popcorn night with Dave next Thursday. Yes, I'm sure it will be.
Yes.
But on that, let's get the popcorn out. Let's do it. Let's get to the win and the bin of the week. I'll deal with other comments coming through. I see more coming through, Vinny. I see it there. But anyway, Jeff, your win and or your bin for this week, what do you have?
Well, my win is I'm just happy to be here. That's my win. So my bin is... what has happened this week that I could ban? Well, I know. I've had about 10 or 15 friends on Facebook that I've seen posts. You know how sometimes you just get random posts? And I get all these things. People saying, if you get a request from me, it's not me. You know, and I saw one, Dean Wells from...
oh, wow.
He even said... Yeah, Terra Mace. He even had a thing up there saying... there's somebody out there that's got my name and they're selling supposedly fake T-shirts. It's not me. Don't click on the link. It's not me. But I've had all these things. What's going on with Facebook? All these people. I know you've got your own thoughts. Yeah, people are saying that it's getting past my 2-factor authentication. Like, what's going to fuck on? Like, everyone's got this 2-factor authentication thing, which is supposed to stop all this shit, and people are still having their accounts hacked, and people are sending up messages saying, look, if you get a friendship request from me, don't accept it. And I look in my friend list thing, you know, and there's people in there that I'm already friends with, and I see it and it's got their name. Like, fuck no, delete, see you later, fuck off. You know, don't know what's going on, but people need to fucking stop visiting these dodgy fucking websites, because this is where you're picking this shit up. They're seeing the IP address, and then they're going, and they can see everything that IP address is attached to. I know this. This is what I do for a living. They can see everything that's linked to that IP address. then they find out they basically play around with different things, and they get some people's passwords and shit like that. They get around the Facebook, and it's just dodgy. Links and stuff are so scary because what happens is now what they're doing is a lot of these hackers they're putting a link up there, and it looks exactly like the original link. If you hover over it, sometimes you'll get a weird link coming up. So don't click on it. You can hover over it, and that's fine, because then you'll see what the link is. But where they're really getting people is they're using alternate characters from other alphabets.
Yeah.
And those other characters look similar to our letters, but in actual fact, if you look very carefully, like the letter A, letter E, they're not the same. And so when you look, oh, that's my bank. Bang, you click on it, you're fucked.
The same with text messages. Text messages scams have jumped right up too. Like I got one while I was streaming tonight from the ATO apparently, and like no, it wasn't. But anyway.
Oh yeah. So if you do get something like that, or you suspect, rather than clicking on the link, my advice is to just go to the actual website. Okay, go to the website and have a look there, because it's not worth. Because as soon as you click on stuff, there's scripts that can, and they also know that once you do, they know that they've got a live account. Sometimes they just send these out randomly. They don't know who's live. It's the same thing with emails. We get people all the time saying, "Oh, I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of emails," and I say, "Well, did you click on the thing where in the email it says, to unsubscribe, click here?" And they go, "Yeah." So, well, what you've done now is you've just identified yourself as a live account. They buy thousands and thousands of emails, right, from these companies that get your data, and then they sell your email. There's companies that just sell and buy and trade. Data is the most thing. As soon as you click on something that says click here to unsubscribe, you've now identified. You've got a flag saying, "Yes, here I am. Send me more shit," because that's what happens. So don't click on anything. Just delete it straight away. But that's my been bad, but it's hopefully it helps somebody out there. So so that's it.
Yeah, no, it's in the world of Twitter or anything like Musk related, and also anything Zuckerberg related or Meta related, the products they've got are firmly going down the tubes very quickly. Instagram, Facebook, even Threads, they're just not that viable.
Well, I think it's going to change. I think Threads is going to become huge, and I tell you why. I don't want to go down there, but I think we're going to see a mass exodus from X because of what's happening.
I get it. Yeah.
People are going to say "fuck you," and they're going to go to Threads. I think Threads is going to explode. I think it's the only viable.
Blue Sky is also kicking off too, which is an interesting dynamic because now Blue Sky has gotten past the needing to have an invite code to get in there. It's open basically to anyone now. I think Blue Sky might make up some ground because it's not linked to Meta. Anyway, that's a different subject for another time. But
indeed.
But yeah, I've had my issues with Facebook, which we've touched on this year. And
of course,
Like I couldn't even upload something to Instagram. I had a couple of issues uploading reels to Instagram. So I'm like, the Facebook and Instagram, as much as I love the platform, like having an audience, the effort that is involved in posting to those platforms is painful these days.
I know.
It's fucking stupid. It shouldn't be that hard. It really shouldn't be that hard. Anyway, but my bin apart from that sort of stuff is the heat. Like it's actually insanely. We're getting heat wave warnings every day here at the moment up in Queensland. Like it's like high 30s, which when you haven't quite got your house properly set up and the aircon isn't in yet, that kind of sucks. So it's just like motherfucker, it's hot. Even now, it's like I'm still fucking sweating bullets, and it's fucking 10 o'clock at night for me up here. No, it's 11 o'clock for you down there. So that kind of sucks. But that said, on the flip side of things, my win is that we've got a window that we're putting in. So I've done some adjustments with that sort of thing there, and it's actually getting some more light and air through the house, which that's helping to keep things cool, which is nice. But also, my really big win for this week is sort of realizing as we've like Jeff and I are going through and tweaking some TV stuff for the rest of the year, and going through and realizing how much good music has already been released this year, but also what's coming out and yet to come out this year. Like it's going to go all the way to the end. So when you look back at the year that was, as you start to get to this part of the year, for us thinking in TV deadlines, you look back and go, fuck, this year was yet another fantastic year in so many respects. Now there's other things we can talk about, but in the music world, it's such a fantastic, fantastic year. So
2024 has just been an amazing year for music.
Another amazing year. And we're not even done yet.
No, we're not done yet. I think back to last year, 2023, and then 2022 before that, since I've been involved in the show.
Yeah.
And I think that this year's topped those the last. And I didn't think that would be possible because they were good years. But this is just taking it to the next level.
Every year you think it can't be topped, and something happens, and it.
I think that's why I've got big hopes for next year. I hope 2025 tops this year, which would be great.
I don't know if it'll top it. You won't have a bad year. You never get a bad year. That's the thing I've noticed. I've been doing this since 2011, and I've never had a bad year musically. Like, never had a bad year. That's why it's great to having comments earlier on tonight about how people have found these good bands through the show, and that, like, that's the whole. That's it. That's the purpose of what we do here. So, there's so much more to come, folks. We're never going to get tired. There's so much more to go through. So we haven't gotten tired yet after this many years. We're not going to go away anytime soon. So just keep with us, and we'll keep pushing on to get through this year, push on to next year, and we'll have some more fun with all this sort of stuff as always. All right, that's win and bin done. Let's get some final comments in and have some get out of here. Vinny says, my bin is having to do a bowel cancer test due to having turned 50 not long ago. Not every day you have to eyeball poke and store your own turd in the fridge for a day or two.
No, look, they gave me the paperwork for that. I've got it here. They want me to do it as well. I'm thinking, oh, fuck, the last thing I want to do is have somebody's finger up my ass. Normally I had to pay for that privilege, but now somebody's offering to do it for free. I shouldn't be complaining, right? Yeah.
You know where I thought that was going to go, but all right. Oh, fuck. Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. Oh, fuck. Popcorn night tonight, folks. I'm going to move us on. Hard music, guys. Good to see you over on YouTube. Has gone. Hope you're feeling better every day, Jeff. And
thank you, buddy.
Obviously, we agree with that one here behind the scenes. So we are keeping an eye on him, folks. Don't worry.
Yes,
Vinny says, I'm taking bets. He'll tap out at the hour and 15-minute mark. That'll be. We'll see what happens next week. Craig says, Vinny, Vincent, nah, he'll prep himself with a few bevies for a 20-minute rant. It's on now. He'll take a jump to the left before stepping to his right.
Oh my God, that's brilliant! Yes.
Well, that's well done. Well done,
Craig.
Very well done. Of the night right there.
That's the comment of the night. Putting a pin in that.
Oh, well done. Hard music, guys. There's a New Testament and Overkill in 2025, shaping up to be a banner year for thrash. Also, probably new Anthrax in 2025 as well. On that note, so that's going to be a good.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Vinny says, as soon as he mentioned a finger in his Jeff got some color in his cheeks.
Yes, I did. I literally did.
Never mind me. I'm just glowing the whole fucking time because it's fucking hot. What temperature is it now? Though? I'm going to quickly check here just what temperature it is where I am right now. It is currently still at over 24 degrees.
13 degrees here in Melbourne, so we're not complaining.
24 plus up here. Minnie's gone Anthrax. Yeah, Anthrax are in the studio working on their album now, so I know that they're working on putting vocals down. I think then they're ready for mixing. It's actually, in theory, meant to be sort of possible for release this year. Didn't happen, so it's now looking very likely for 2025. So if I had to put a bet on a new album next year, Anthrax, I would put a smart wager on that one.
They're a brilliant band.
They haven't done one, I think, since 2016 for all Kings. That was
Four Kings, yeah, because before that it was Worship Music, and that was 2011 or 2012, yeah. 2011, so that's a long time. Yeah. That's right. And For All Kings, yeah, it's got to be 2016.
I think that's 2016 from memory. Off the top of my head.
That's a long time between albums.
It's coming up on 10 years. Like that's a long time for that band.
Biggest gap in their career ever.
And Minnie's gone, fuck yeah. I'm quietly confident of what I've seen kicking around that Anthrax will release their new album. I don't know much detail, but I know they're pumped about it. They're talking it up already, which means they're probably close to finishing it, which means it'll be released in 2025. But don't know when, but keep your eye out for Anthrax in 2025. So Minnie, fuck yeah, about sums it up. Alrighty, folks, that will about do it. Thank you all so much for your company. We'll see you all again, same time and place as always. On behalf of Jody, who's always in the support scenes behind the background here, but also on behalf of Dave, Conrad, and Belle, who are not here with us tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you all very, very soon. Hang on, Craig's gone. I thought Minnie was referencing Vinny's finger and ass comment for a moment there. No,
you don't even know
context, man.
There's context, yeah.
Yeah. Michael says night all, and Johnny says good night. But that's okay, Craig. You still got the comment of the night when he'll take a jump to the left before stepping to his right. So well done there. Anyway, that's a good way to finish it up. Thank you all so much. we'll see you all very, very soon. Until then, that's Jeff beside me on the screen. Thank you to you two, buddy, for sticking through it. You've done very well. You've fucking powered through tonight, so well done tonight.
Yeah, I was happy to do it. Like I said, I wouldn't miss this for the world.
Yep.
Unless I was in the hospital, but then didn't miss it then either.
So you're a trooper, man. I applaud your efforts. But until next week, folks, you all know what to do. We'll see you then. Until then, I'm Andrew. As always, drink up, rock on. Look after yourselves, folks. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, people.
Speak.